Avengers Endgame. That's right. There are going to be some big changes, minus that trailer, which didn't show any changes. Um, the Dog Stars movie that's coming out. Roxy liked it, but apparently it's one of the worst reviewed movies for Ridley Scott's career. Why? We got some more stuff with Marvel. We got some Ghost Rider stuff and other things that's coming out. But I am excited today because we have more news finally. What's going on with our show? I've been telling you guys, and I told you guys yesterday, we finally announced that September 22nd is the Kickstarter. We have some news. We have a lot of things that we're going to be talking about today. I have Craig Goldberg, who is our Kickstarter manager, on today with you guys to be able to talk about not obviously all the stories, but now this is the time to ask as many questions as possible to tell you kind of the road. And we're even going to give you guys a first glance at the Kickstarter itself today. So let's get into it. It's myself. It's Craig Goldberg. It is the Kristian Harloff Show here today on this Wednesday. Let's get into it, everybody.
Did you shit in there?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. Joining me once again, it's a big hit the first time. It's going to be a big hit the second time. Craig Goldberg's here. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Kristian. How's it going, man?
You know what I realized? I was thinking about you earlier today. Is that
Okay.
you remind me, like, if you're a Game of Thrones character,
I know
you'd be the Game of Thrones character, because for people, I've been working now with Craig for a little bit. Craig to me is the guy that at first when you see him in the first scene, you're like, does this guy really want to fight with these guys? And then he runs into the battle and he cuts like 75 heads off within seconds. Like, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's hilarious when I call you and like and I love this about you, by the way. I'll call you and I go, hey Craig, what's going on? You're like, hey man. And I fucking love it. It's like you're a soldier, you're a warrior. And I love it about you. Like, so people who don't know, Craig has been running full steam ahead with the Kickstarter. And man, like, because we went through a journey before we had Craig, and it was like a back and forth and up and down. And since Craig has gotten a hold of this thing, we've been moving. We've set up some bumps, but you and I have been getting through them together.
Yeah, I mean, I love the work. No matter what kind of project I'm working on, I kind of have this philosophy of, it's going to work out.
Yeah.
We're just going to have to figure out the path to get there.
Yeah.
But that's life, right? So, but I'm super excited. I'm so happy for you guys, and I can't wait to talk about it today.
Yeah.
And start getting these details out there. And just appreciate you having me back on.
Of course, man. You're going to be on a lot more, obviously, and we'll talk about the stuff that you got going on in your channel in a little bit too. But
Sure.
When we have the Kickstarter, and one of the things that I wanted to show is there's a few we shot a video to which Craig has been kind of instrumental and was like, look, when we launch this campaign, we need a video that people are going to be introduced to you guys, that the people who already know about it learn a little bit more about it, people who don't know. And so we shot something. It's one of the reasons I went to LA, and we really got some fun shots. And you'll see this is again the campaign itself, as we talked about. The name of the show is trending. And then you got these shots, which I thought were pretty good. The stuff that we were doing, and I like. It's like there's a few more, but that's kind of the overall start of it, and it's like it's getting more real. And then if I want to make sure that I can show everybody because you put it in the private chat?
Yep.
Okay, because I'm gonna bring this up, but. What right now should the audience know about, because September 22nd is when we launch, and as I've been telling people, and I literally just shot a video with Sam, and we've been talking about this, that essentially what we need is just around 13,000 people. They put in $25. We make this show in the capacity that we want to make it.
Yeah.
But what should they know?
Yeah. So, I mean, first of all, the big takeaway, there's going to be like 2 or 3, we're going to keep this easy, 2 or 3 big takeaways today. The first one is, the Kickstarter is going to officially launch on Tuesday, 9/22. So just short of a month from now. But what we're going to launch today is what is called the pre-save page. So it's going to be the same link. Well, once the Kickstarter goes live, this page will be the page everybody uses. And what we're going to do is we're going to roll out information and details over the coming weeks on the project, who's involved, what the perks are, what the benefits are, and basically build a full picture of the entirety of the project prior to launch. So everybody here will have a really good idea of what's going on. But today we're going to actually launch the pre-save page, and this is a really important part of the whole thing. So this is where you go and you click the button that says notify me on launch.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Craig. Go ahead.
This is going to be ourshowIstrending.com. Everybody can go there right now. If you search Kristian Harloff on Kickstarter, that's another way to find it. But just keep the URL in mind, ourshowIstrending.com. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the page. The page now has your first kind of look at some of the information and some of the tone and some of the vibe of what's going to be built here. And we want everybody to go and start getting familiar, with the project. But the biggest thing is to click that notify me on launch button. And the reason for that is we don't want this to just be for your audience, right? Obviously, your audience is going to be a huge part of why this is successful. But by going and clicking the notify me button, that is telling Kickstarter, it's a signal for Kickstarter saying, oh, there's interest in this project. And the way projects become successful and go viral and all that is when there's a groundswell and kind of an organic grassroots approach. So today you can get notified about the launch, and then that'll kind of loop you in with all the updates, so you'll never miss any important information. And Kristian, as you know, as we've been planning it, there's going to be a lot of important information over the coming weeks.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that everybody. This is a great question too for you, Craig, because these are more questions that are going to be coming in. So, will the Kickstarter be open to international viewers? I've seen some Kickstarters that are U.S. only.
Yeah, I think international for sure. A lot of our perks are going to be kind of like, you say it in the description, the kind of the inspiration is Project Greenlight. So a lot of the perks for this are going to be that insider access, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be behind the scenes footage, table reads, casting process, exclusive streams. So there is kind of this digital component that really makes it an international kind of a thing where we don't want anybody to miss out on it. So there are going to be some physical rewards, right? We're going to have things like t-shirts and signed posters and all that. Shipping on that stuff might be a little bit more internationally. Actually, I don't know if anybody's seen the post office prices lately. It might be a little bit more, domestically, but we're not going to, no one's getting blocked out from this. So it's a worldly affair.
I love that in general. And look, and this is the reason why we want people to start signing up now. And it's funny because it's a matter of, I think one of the things, as I was playfully teasing with you, Craig, I think one of the things I really like about you too is that in fact you've got a good vision to things with kind of, you got to have a dream inside of the vision, right? Sure. And I think that even yesterday, what is crazy is that so we both went back and forth. And we talked about, the news of what the Guild just accomplished. Yeah. And the Guild, for people who don't know, was a very popular kind of web series back. Felicia Day puts out this series, does very well, and then took it to a network to go and do stuff. But they're like, yeah, but if so, we want to recast all the characters. We want to do this. We want to do that. We'll buy it for you, but we want to do this instead. And she said, screw that. I'm just going to use my audience and say, listen, I want you guys to believe in this. We're going to give you the stuff that we really need, and we're going to need 1.5 million to make this happen. And not only did they get 1.5, they went and almost got $7 million with what they did, and they shattered, I think, the record as far as, or they beat the record for us, I think, scripted or whatever it might be. They beat some kind of record that was really impressive. Yeah. And, and I had sent, and this is to people in our circle that are supporting me and this project very much so. And I said, look at what the Guild did. Look at this. And two people that I sent it to, who I love and I'm going to be collaborating with and talking to and everything, said, well, yeah, but that's Felicia Day. And I said, that's not the answer. I said, that's not the answer. Sure, Felicia Day had a big, huge audience but there's no, and first of all, she overperformed from 1.5 to almost 7 million. The idea of the overperforming, and the deal is that her audience believed in her, and her audience went 45,000 backers in general off of what she had and the things that she did and the maneuvering that she made. It was brilliant in the way that she did it. But taking something and saying to this audience, whether it's the audience who's watching live, whether it's the audience who's watching the reactions, whoever it might be, and saying, hey, not only do you get to make our show, what if the little engine that could started breaking records? And that's because of you guys, because you believed in it. Now you get a little bit more, as Craig just brilliantly kind of put together this whole project to see it, because people said, oh, the premise of the show, and I got to look at the premise of the show in general. And you see again the pictures, and Martini and I, we got some good laughs. I showed Sam, by the way, some of the footage. And how much of the footage did you watch, Craig? I'm curious.
I thumbed through a lot of it. I mean, it's great. I mean, I'm so excited for people to kind of get to know. I know in my experience. Well, let me finish one sentence first, and another one. I'm excited for them to get to know you in this capacity and to see this other world that you're building outside of this world. I know in my world of doing YHS and everything, when we've stepped out and kind of put ourselves out there and tried something new or ambitious or risky, the biggest thing is your supporters and your audience. And listen, there's always going to be somebody out there who goes, yeah, well, that was Felicia Day, but you know what? That's doesn't matter, because first of all, not to blow smoke, but you have an incredible, just amazing built-in audience and track record, and obviously look how many people are here just hanging out every day. There is no reason to think that this cannot be a tremendously successful campaign that breaks its own records. Like,
because even if we go 3 times what we're asking, right? It's if we're able to do something like that. Look, because if we were lucky enough to, let's say hypothetically, we beat Felicia Day's record, right? Felicia Day was we let's say we do that, because
let's do it.
Enough people say, you know what? Let's do that. That's like a full season and a half of my show. Of what?
Right.
She's making one movie. I can make a season and a half for that, at least, or close to it. But the point of it is, it's more so that it's, as I kid and don't kid at the same time about that, what Felicia Day did really well was, again, say the same type of thing that I believe is true, is how much the business is changing, and getting past the gatekeepers and saying, no, we believe in this. We believe in this overall, and we're going to make this happen. And I think that that's what at least our audience is already doing, and they're getting excited about it. So at the very least, for everybody who's watching here today and on the replay, go to the page. PLD, put the link in there again, just if we can put it in there so people see it. And then we're gonna pin it to the top of the comments to sign up to get notified by it and look at the stuff. Because as I also mentioned yesterday, if you weren't here yesterday, the other thing that we're doing, and I think Craig's going to put this in the goals, I'm not sure, maybe not, when it comes to the Schmodown and what we're going to be able to do for those people who wonder about the Schmodown. If we hit our goal in the first day, we're going to bring back a 16-person tournament for the Schmodown. If we do it in day 2, we won't do 16, but we'll do an 8-person. If we do it in day 3, we won't do the tournaments, but we'll do a live event with 2 big matches. And if we don't do it in 3 days, we'll do some kind of a Schmodown if we hit the goal at all. So that's something for inspiration for Schmodown people, and some people who are maybe coming in here now and haven't been around in a little bit, or maybe recently I've been on Campia Show a lot. More people are like, oh, I didn't realize that you had a channel again too. And I was like, great. People are finding me from other places and places that I've been before, and help support this thing. So do we want to tease anything? I know we have inside of that.
So I would say, like, we're definitely going to have we're going to get some good, like, information and some graphics and stuff that really kind of, a big part of Kickstarter is education. Because first of all, you can't assume that everybody knows what Kickstarter is.
Right.
You can't assume that everybody knows what crowdfunding is and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to over-educate the entire audience over the coming weeks So things like the Schmodown and what needs to happen for that to be unlocked, we're going to have it all broken down on the page. And then once we actually launch, this page will be much more robust in fully detailed and fleshed out.
Right.
But if you did want to take a quick look on the page now under the backer perks preview, because a big thing is people are going to want to know, like, oh, I'm going to put in some money, whether that's $25, $100, $200, whatever it is.
Sorry, Craig, hold on.
Oh, you're good.
Go ahead.
There's going to be some really great rewards, right? And there's going to be the opportunity to really get involved in this in a lot of different ways. So there, yeah, if you can go on the backer perks preview. So we talked about the behind the scenes access, exclusive live streams, limited merchandise. But there's also going to be producer roles. There's going to be your ability to get an IMDb credit as a producer on a show that, you know, very well could go on to be, just imagine Kristian's accepting his best actor at the Emmys and you're a producer on the show.
Yeah.
Hey, this is how the world's working right now.
I know.
Like,
I know.
I'm not even joking. Like, look at what's happening in the world of, you know, horror movies and everything like that. But there's going to be on-screen opportunities, like an actual, chance to be on the show and maybe even get a speaking role.
Yeah.
And we're not going to reveal all the details yet, but this How to Become a YouTuber Masterclass is going to be really a first of its kind in this space, where we're going to have next year, as an exclusive to this Kickstarter and one of the tiers, a 40-day course led by Kristian on taking your idea from how do I do this? How do I become a YouTuber? How do I start a podcast? And by the end of it, you're going to have your own channel. And that is like unprecedented access. And Kristian, there's not enough time in the day already. No. So this shows how committed you are to the project. Yeah, man, it's between that and the Schmodown and other things too. And it's one of these things that I make sure that I've been doing over the course of the last 7-8 months is listening to what the audience has been saying. Whether it's, someone brought up, like, could you do a Schmodown thing? And I'm like, I don't know. And then I thought about it. I'm like, well, what if I did this? And then it's like, well, if I could learn how to do this or do a reaction or do this, I'm like, okay, I used the audience as a sounding board and as a focus group, and they were so respondent. And they said, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And I'm like, yes, that's how you build it. And that's why when I tell people, well, yeah, but because one time I had said to somebody about, I'm running this campaign, kind of what Chris Stuckman did, and but he had 1 million subscribers. I'm like, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. The answer is, do the people, if it's 5,000 people, like, here's a perfect example. Sure. When you ran your campaign and what you did, because you went and your initial goal was how much? Yeah, for Cryptoids, which is our toy company, we wanted 150K and we ended up doubling that. Right. And you had how many subscribers at the time? Our YouTube is like 11,000 subscribers. Right. And that's that's my point. And in fact, it's like, because now sometimes people will say, well, if you don't have an active channel and you have 200,000 subscribers, it means nothing. My channel's active. I'm on it every single day. I have different things, and the audience is very active, and the audience will say, I don't know about this, but I would, if you did this. I saw somebody in the Schmodown group when Ed Harrell, one of our loyal listeners, posted in the Schmodown group. He said, I haven't been as interested in watching a lot of this stuff recently, but if you considered bringing the Schmodown back, I'd probably would do would donate towards this. And I'm gonna be very clear, when I'm bringing back the Schmodown, it's for either a tournament or something else too. Right. And I'll tell you what, if we beat Felicia Day's record, I'll tell you this right now, if we beat Felicia Day's record, I'll bring Schmodown back for a lot more than just a tournament. I'll tell you that. That'd be a world tour. That'd be 100%, right? Yeah. Imagine if we do that. I mean, but again, the sky is the limit. And it's one of these things where if the audience believes in you and the audience thinks that you care, that's the main thing though, too. And you and I talked about this immediately. Does the audience know where their money is going? Does the audience know what they're backing? Does the audience believe in you? And if those three questions are yes, then I highly, highly ask you to please consider being part of this and making our show. Now, do you want to, are we waiting to show the
the design for the shirt? You want to wait for that?
Yeah, we'll
All
get
right.
it up there
All right.
in the coming days,
All
but
right.
I'm really excited about that. And truly, like, community's everything, especially like the world's in a wild place right now, and I'm noticing more and more that people are really dependent on their communities, and this is an amazing community. So this is an opportunity for a groundswell for people to come together and make something really special happen. And literally dreams come true these days in different ways. This is not about going out and begging investors to
Right.
put up big money to finance your show, and all of a sudden they've got a lot of creative input, and all of a sudden Kristian loses control of his passion project. Like, this is about taking full control
Yeah.
and building something together. It's a really a special kind of thing.
It's going to
awesome.
be, and I think that's one of the. So PLD gave me the information. So the Guild was the highest funded narrative movie project in Kickstarter history, surpassing the previous record in 2013, the Veronica Mars movie.
Right.
So we're excited for it. And the reason I asked you to watch the footage, though, too, because Sam, my friend Sam, who does reactions with me, she watched the footage this morning, and she just was, and this was a great thing to hear. And she's not going to bullshit me, she's going to tell me right now, well, I don't know if this works. She's like, your chemistry with Martini really works.
Yeah.
And that's the most important. If that doesn't work, that's like Yoda and the puppet and Luke not working in Empire. If
Right.
that fails, you're in trouble. But did you? I mean, I'm hopeful that when you were watching the footage, you kind of saw the goofiness of the two of us as well.
It's great, and it's of such quality. Obviously the chemistry is there, but it feels, it's really hard to tell somebody what the tone of something's going to be. You really
Right.
have to show them. So I'm really excited for everybody in the coming weeks to start seeing the footage and seeing what you guys put together.
Yeah.
And kind of learning about all the involved parties, and there's just so much. This is like not even step one. This is like
I
step
know.
0.25.
Right.
of
We're
one.
not, there's going to be so much exciting stuff. This is why
yeah.
I'm trying to tell people again. I'm putting the link in here too, because as we are going to get more people and more people watching on whether it's the replay or whatever it might be. Currently, right now, there's 51 people following the account. Right. So by the end of the show, I'd love to have 100.
Yeah.
So let's get that done. Let's make sure that happens, and click on click on it. That's all I'm
Yeah.
asking. Right there. Our show is trending. Doc, go to the PLD's link, go to my link, and all you got to do, you see it right now. You see it in the chat. Let's get to 100, and I'm going to check right now. And I'm asking you this when you click on it to follow, even if you're on the fence about it, you don't have to donate right now. It's just following to see what we're going to be offering. There's currently 52. I'm hoping that we're going to get 100. I ask you that favor as for if you watch this show at all.
Yeah, and it's literally just a notification. There's no commitment or anything like that.
Yeah,
and
it's just to let you know what we got going on.
It just tells Kickstarter people are showing interest, and the more interest that is shown, the more opportunity to make it to the front page of Kickstarter and
Right.
and get caught up in their algorithm.
That's a great point. So that's a great point right there, because I even had somebody yesterday said, listen, I'm just going to be supporting this project for you right now. If I can donate financially, I will. But if in case I can't, is there any other way to support? Do exactly what Craig just said. Go and follow the account. The more people, if they start seeing, oh wow, there's already 1,000 people following this account. There's 2,000 people following this account. Like, wow. And this is before the thing even starts, like every day. Cause I'm going to keep asking you, I'm like, fine, just shut up. I'll follow it. Just do that.
Yeah. I mean, literally running a campaign on Kickstarter is exhausting.
Yeah.
And it becomes your life. So this is going to be a big part of what's going on over here on the show in the coming weeks and months. And but I'm so thankful to be a part of it. And I'll just, no BS, I wouldn't have taken it on if I didn't think it was a winner.
I believe you, and I'm glad that Peter introduced us, because like I said, it's like you've been really, really solid, and we're in good hands, guys, with what Craig is doing. So that's going to be going on September 22nd. We'll talk about it more, and not only we're going to do the same thing today that we've been doing, especially with Craig here today. We're going to talk about our main stories and everything in just a second. But if you have any questions in regards to the super chats, that's great. But then at the end of it, when the super chats are over, I'm going to take questions from the live chat, super chat or not super chat, and just highlight them about the show. And if you're asking about the campaigns, if you want to see more things, I'll run those pictures one more time. And by the way, Joey Moda took these photos, and these are just some of them. He sent me some of them this morning. They're really, really solid. This is actually the video that you will be seeing from the campaign itself. Like this is from the footage that we took. That's just a still shot that he took from the side, and then there's us kind of goofing around on the couch like afterwards. But once again, trending. What do you do when the worst person for you is the only one who can save you? It is a half-an-hour comedy, and I'm excited for you guys to check it out.
Those pictures are great. It already looks like a show.
Dude, I'm telling you, like we had such a great team. Like the way I had my buddy Dennis Zen, who was gonna shoot stuff for us, and I had him all lined up, and then unfortunately he couldn't do it, but he had recommended Barrett, and I didn't realize until Barrett got there that I had worked with Barrett at the Schmodown. Speaking of the Schmodown, and Barrett was again, talk about another just warrior. The guy had like he had all this equipment, and he was lugging it up and down the stairs and had everything, and just just made it look crisp. And we had a really solid team from start to finish. So pretty pumped about it, excited.
Nice.
So all right, here's what we're gonna do before we have tons of stories that we're gonna get into with Craig in just a moment, starting with that Avengers one. But before we do, I'm going to tell you guys about our good friends over at Hims, and then we'll be right back. All right, I know everybody has weight loss goals, especially with summertime. And when it is summertime, you really actually want to hit it. And that's what everybody's been doing. Everybody's trying. Weight Loss by Hims is designed to support you every step of the way. And now Hims offers access to an affordable range of FDA-approved GLP-1 medications, including the Wegovy pill and the Wegovy pen. So you can lose the weight and you can keep it all off. With Wegovy at Hims, lose up to 20% of your body weight when combined with diet and exercise. It helps you regulate your appetite, eat less, and keep the weight off. Plus, Wegovy is the first ever GLP-1 pill for the weight loss, so there is no needles needed. And that's the thing for me, where I was like, no needles. No needles. If you're ready to reach your goals, visit hims.com/Christian. You get a personalized, affordable plan that gets you. That's HIMS.com/Christian, hims.com/Christian. Weight Loss by Hims is not available in all 50 states. Wegovy is the registered trademark of Novo Nordisk AS. To get started and learn more, including important safety information, Wegovy clinical study information, and restrictions, visit hims.com. Check out Hims. There's a reason you keep hearing about Hims. They keep popping up. Why? Because people trust them. People trust the brand. So check them out. hims.com. Use that code Christian. It'll work for you. Thank you to Hims. Really excited that we have them on board. They're an amazing brand, and they've been around with us for a little bit. So hopefully you guys go and check them out. Craig, I was going to start with the Avengers Endgame stuff, but I saw in the chat quite prominently and rightfully so that yesterday we saw that Dolly Parton passed. Well, today, unfortunately, we got the news that the great Tim Curry has passed away. Tim Curry, of course, it's us people saying Home Alone 2 or Clue, so many Rocky Horror Pictures, so many great moments. Is this did you do this to me? Who did this to me? Okay. Curry died this morning at his Toluca Lake home in Los Angeles. He was 80 years old. Longtime manager and friend Marsha Hurwitz announced he had suffered a major stroke in 2012. He joined the Rocky Horror in the original stage production at a tiny upstairs venue at the London's Royal Court Theatre, stuck with the sexual farce as it moved to larger London venues and Broadway, and then starred with a young Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick in the 75 movie adaptation. Let's see, there's so many different things when it talks about. He was in Annie, great Annie, loved him in that. Obviously Pennywise in It, and there's so many great performances. You look at what he did in the goofball musical Monty Python Spamalot. The guy was a legend. He was an absolute legend, and yeah, he had been in bad health for a while, as they mentioned that stroke back in 2012, I think they said. And it was always, kind of heartbroken when you saw him in recent interviews because you knew he was kind of struggling, but he was a bull, and he was so talented. But for me, it's even though look it well, what they did on TV back then. He was terrifying as Pennywise. And yes, you look back and you look and it's definitely made for TV, but he was one of those guys. There's very few actors you can say this about. There are a few, but Tim Curry never gave less than 100% in everything that he did. I don't know if there's anything that stands out for you in general when you think of the great Tim Curry.
Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. This is never fun, and now it feels like it's just happening all the time. Yesterday was tough with Dolly, and
Right.
just the big thing about Tim Curry, just again, somebody who you feel like is universally loved, like a Robin Williams almost, where it's like, who ever had something bad to say about Tim Curry? I mean, his performances are legendary. You know, obviously Pennywise, the horror that we felt that I felt
I know.
as a child.
Yeah.
With the double VHS,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
it's just kind of imprinted on your brain. And then obviously like Rocky Horror is just legendary.
Yeah.
We a couple years ago we went to the UK and we actually went to the castle, which is like now a hotel where they filmed Rocky Horror. Just it was really sad to see him in the last couple years, but he was still out there. He was like doing the conventions and signing and still really funny and quick, and it's tough.
Still young. It's young. It's young and still. I mean, Dolly also 80 years old, and it's just like and it is true how these things always come in threes, right? It's always it's bizarre, but
it is.
Anyway, the great Tim Curry leaving us again too soon at 80 years old, and I want people to put their thoughts in there about their favorite performances. And people have already been doing that throughout the entire show, so I hope they continue to do it because he was just he was a legend. So, as I would say, no easy way to kind of transition out of it. So we'll just talk about what the main topic is. And I think last time you were on the show, we talked about the Avengers stuff and what was going on. And since we spoke last, D23 happened. They released that big trailer for Doomsday, and then there was this re-release that's coming out for Endgame. And they were talking about how, well, what is going to be different about it? And so yesterday they released a trailer, and they didn't really show anything different, except they said that you'll get a first look at Doomsday. Is really all they said. Well, here's the new report that comes out here. It says Avengers Endgame Encore. Marvel Studios appears to have made some big changes to the film. This is from Comic Book Movie. And it's Josh Wilding who says, Avengers Endgame Encore tickets went on sale yesterday, and we're hearing the movie took just 2 hours to record the biggest pre-sale start ever for a re-release. Could the movie take back the #1 spot from Avatar at the global box office? It is certainly possible. And while time will tell on that front, eagle-eyed fans have noticed at least two big differences in the trailer that was released yesterday compared to the version of Avengers Endgame currently available. It seems some tweaks have been made from those Infinity Vision screens, which, as a reminder, is a new certification for premium large format theaters that guarantees moviegoers an exceptional film presentation with big screens, bright images, outstanding sound. The color grading is much more vibrant, but has Disney just upped the contrast a little to create the impression that Infinity Vision screens will make the movie look better? That's currently being hotly debated, but it's entirely possible that 7 years on, Marvel Studios has found a legitimate way to improve the visuals of Endgame. A line of dialogue in yesterday's sneak peek has been altered. In what could be a small but meaningful change, Tony Stark now tells Steve Rogers, you mess with time, time tends to mess back. Instead of, you mess with time, it tends to mess back. A big part of Avengers Doomsday will reportedly revolve around the consequences of Steve traveling back in time to get his happy ending with Peggy Carter. So this warning now hits a little harder. There's also unverified rumblings about Emma Furman's Cassie Lang being swapped out with Catherine Newton, who took over the role in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I hope they don't do that. I'll tell you why in a second. It's going to connect the story of the two movies. There's a natural progression from Endgame into Doomsday, which is also inclusive of the other stories that have been playing out. The grave course of events set in motion by Thanos to wipe out half the universe and fracture the Avengers ranks compels the remaining Avengers to take one final stand in Marvel Studios' grand conclusion, 22 films. So one of the things that I guess I don't know if you saw this interview that the Russo brothers gave not too long ago, and they said that the Endgame re-release is actually required viewing for Doomsday.
Yeah, it kind of seems like they're hedging a little bit on what's actually going to be added, because if they come out, I think it's a little bit. First of all, if it was the biggest one day pre-sale for a re-release, then I guess it doesn't matter. But
Right.
at first I was like, okay, maybe they don't want to be like, hey, there's new footage, because then everybody goes, there's, maybe you can criticize it, right? Like, oh,
Right.
well, of course there is, because they didn't have a plan or whatever. And then the other, if you say, well, there's not anything new, then it's like, well, I'll just flip on Disney Plus and watch it at home if I want to. Personally, I love Endgame. It's one of my,
Yeah, me too.
We did our top 10 movies of the last 40 years or whatever we did on the channel, and Endgame's in there. I love Endgame. It's probably my favorite MCU movie. And
Just watched it on the plane. I just watched it on the plane on the way back from LA.
Well, but when I was here last time, we were talking about, it was the weekend before Spider-Man came out.
Yeah,
We were like, will it hit 800? I was like, nope, it was like 950.
Right, right.
So I think the MCU's in a really good spot right now. For one, I guess I was thinking the whole time that it would just be Endgame with maybe like a 2 or 3 minute,
post-credit scene or something.
Post-credits kind of bridging the gap. But hey, you telling me Steve Rogers is back? I'm in. Like, this is like no brainer for me.
I want to see how they're going to do it, right? Because here's where they have a chance to drop the ball, is that if you just go, and the Russo brothers are out there saying it's required viewing in order for Doomsday, and you do go, and all it is just color grading, looks better, couple change dialogue, they switch out an actress, and there's nothing that really happens, that's going to piss people off, and maybe piss people off going into Doomsday. However, if they add some stuff and even if it's a post-credit scene, that's the only thing they add, and it's a post-credit scene that really ties in what's going on and what happens to make you go, okay, I'm on board, let's get going. That is, it's kind of a brilliant marketing play and what they're trying to do. Now, as far as the pre-sales thing, I've been talking about this. The movie needs to make, I think, and PLD can tell me if I'm right or wrong about this, but I think it's anywhere between 130 to 140 in order to take over Avatar. Worldwide, it needs to make about $140 million, which is not a small feat for a re-release to do. But it needs to make just around that. Now, the other side of it is, if it shatters that, Felicia Day style, if it shatters that and goes,
but that's Felicia Day.
That's right. That's true. That is Felicia Day. I love Felicia Day, by the way. And so $200 million could catapult this thing to be the first $3 billion movie ever. Now, that's a far goal. Not sure. But, yeah, go ahead.
According to the Google, 124.3 to 122, 6.2 million, around there.
Doable. And depending on, again, if those people who already bought their tickets say, you got to go and see that scene. You got to see. Wow. I just saw the re-release again in theater. Not only was it a great ride to go and watch that movie in the theater again, like, oh man, the way that it's going to get you hyped for Doomsday. And if it does make anywhere between 150 to 200, that bodes very well for Doomsday.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, just the opportunity to go sit in an IMAX theater and watch Endgame again is going to be awesome. So anything extra is bonus for me.
I know.
I hope they don't switch the actress, the old Back to the Future 2 switcheroo, because it just doesn't seem that necessary.
It doesn't. And here's another reason why. It's like, look, I get, and especially after watching the Star Wars movies that I just watched with Sam, she had never seen them for the first time. And we went and we did it in such an order that she had watched the prequels, and then we went to Jedi. And by replacing the original actor with Hayden Christensen at the end, I understand why they did that. I get it, because it's relevant to the prequels and really kind of catapulting you to it. Not only don't think it's that important to lead into the events of Ant-Man Quantumania, right, which is what it is. And yeah, sure, maybe Catherine Newton shows up in these new movies and she's going to be part of the Young Avengers, whatever the hell it is at some point in time. The performance of I like Catherine Newton. I think she's a really good actress. I actually prefer the performance of the girl in Endgame than I do to Catherine Newton. I think the girl in Endgame was a little more subtle, and that's not Catherine Newton's fault. I think that was the directing that she got for being in that third movie. But I thought the character evolves so much, and granted, she gets older. I get it, but to me, if you pair up Ant-Man 1, and I think she's in Ant-Man 2, the same child actress, I think. People can correct me if I'm wrong. But the character of Cassie, and then you lead that into Endgame, those versions of Cassie all seem similar. The version of Endgame to the version of Quantumania, where she's this kind of like, she's turning into Scott now, and she's like kind of like almost like she's got an attitude, she's getting herself into trouble. I get it. It's the evolution of a character. I understand. It just seems so radically different in how it was. So I don't think you need to change her.
Yeah, and I've one of my favorite scenes in Endgame is when Scott is when he comes back and he's trying to figure out what's going on, and he goes to his house, and when he like chokes up and he says, "You're so big," like it really works.
And that actress made it work so well. She's like, Dad, the way that she did it was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
It is a worldwide release. Isn't it? Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Endgame's a worldwide release. Yeah. I mean, well, if it's not a worldwide release, it's definitely not going to hit that number.
Right.
It ain't going to make 200. Yeah.
Google's saying it is. So
yeah. I mean, well, Google never gets it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah. Google definitely gets it.
That's why I'm clarifying.
No,
it's interesting. Fair. I used to die on the hill that replacing Anakin at the end of Jedi with Hayden Christensen was the biggest travesty. Over time, it because
of the prequels, right?
Because of the prequels, and just I don't know, because Hayden is now like this beloved.
It's funny how that
part of Star
around.
Wars.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I get it,
Yeah, same. Because like when it first happened, was that necessary? Because even at the end, where, and again, you talk about a guy who I think was just Lucas just didn't give him justice with the directing and stuff. Because even in that Force Ghost thing, he's kind of got like that Anakin kind of smile, like it looks like he's scheming something as a Force Ghost, and it's like, you want to get, because Hayden can be warm, you want to get that kind of warm feeling, because he does it well in Ahsoka. I think the balance that he does I didn't love that series. I thought that the stuff that he did in that series was really good. I thought the stuff that he did. Have you watched the Patterson cut, by the way, Obi-Wan?
I haven't.
Oh,
I've heard it's very much worth watching, and I had so much trouble with
the series.
I mean, listen,
it's the shits.
Well, I don't know if we want to go down the Star Wars rabbit hole today, but the hits and misses over on Disney Plus with Star Wars. But
a couple more misses.
Obi-Wan, it was one of my most anticipated series ever, and I was so bummed out.
Same. I thoroughly disliked the show. The Patterson cut makes it wonderful.
Wow, I'll watch it.
You should. It's really, really good. Because they cut out a lot of the nonsense. There's the editing is much better. The stuff that even the storytelling of they focus in on the lead character of Obi-Wan. Yeah, they actually make it Obi-Wan's movie, which is it's really good. It's really solid. Anyway,
cool.
So all that being said, Avengers Endgame Encore I think there will be some changes to it, and there'll be some changes because again, the other thing you don't want to do is you don't make so many changes that people go, oh, they're just retconning certain things to make sure that this movie works. You got to make it seem like it's relevant to being a sequel.
Well, I think Marvel's very focused right now.
Yeah, they have a plan.
A year ago, when they were rolling out those Endgame teaser trailers in theaters, I was like, oh, this feels like weird marketing. I don't know if this is working, but I do not doubt Kevin Feige. Even if you haven't been a huge fan of the multiverse saga, I think we're in for something really special with Doomsday. I really do.
Well, this is and so this is going to be the big test as far as, because you look at you cannot doubt his legendary run that he had, Kevin Feige, in those first 3 phases, right? And then, like whether it's a fighter, a good ball player, whatever, too, has some runs. You're like, oh, they had a great career, but maybe the career is in the shits right now,
right?
And he now says, well, wait, like any other potential great, you can either stay and do the same thing that you've been doing and keep going down, or pivot try to do some more things, maybe do some things that used to work that we weren't doing for a little while. And then if this run between Spider-Man, Doomsday, Black Panther 3, Ghost Rider, the X-Men movies, if you get all them running again, people are going to be, oh, this guy's the greatest. He's the best, because he's like, oh yeah, he fell down a little bit, but now look, they're back on top, because out of the three big brands with them, Star Wars and DC, they are poised to be great. And the other ones are still in trouble.
I could not agree more with that sentiment. I mean, it's my big Thunderbolts is so good, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna get forgotten because it's getting swept in with this this time period, but yeah,
Thunderbolts did really good on digital. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it did really well. What I think that it could do eventually is that if Doomsday shines a light on them, which it seems like it will, the new Avengers or whatever, with not Black Widow or oh my God,
Yelena.
Yes, but what do they call her? Is it just Yelena? I forget. I don't know. Whatever. So Yelena. So her and
Midsummer.
Right. And so she is Midsummer. So she's going to be I think people might go back and watch that again in the same way that maybe they go back and they watch Fantastic Four to make it all make sense a little bit more. We'll see. Nonetheless, they're still putting those clearly from that last trailer. They're putting them front and center. So they're still going to be not completely abandoning what they set up to get there. But make no mistakes about it. Clearly, from this Endgame re-release, this is going to be a sequel to Endgame. Yeah.
Well, those are great characters, and I think no matter what in the MCU, there's always going to be comic book fans who debate on, if the Hulk looked right and all that kind of stuff. But you have to have, dynamic, interesting characters with great actors, and that's what Robert Downey Jr. brought to the whole thing.
Sure.
Like, he is the X factor. I was the least surprised when they brought him back. I was like, oh, you need Robert Downey Jr.
But for the mainstream fan in general. So anyway, very curious to what people think. Put your thoughts in there. Please let us know what you're thinking. Craig, good news. Not even the end of the show. We're at 100 followers so far on Kickstarter.
We better up it to 200 then.
That's what I'm saying. So now the game is 200. Can we get to 200? It's over 500 people right now. As we mentioned beforehand, this is Craig Goldberg. He is our Kickstarter project manager for our show, which is trending. If you guys don't know, we're launching this on September 22nd, guys. We're going to run it for 30 days. We hope to hit our goal. If we hit our goal in the first day, we're going to bring the Schmodown back for a 16-person tournament. It is myself and Martini Paratori playing the two lead roles, but we're going to have some more announcements pretty soon, as you see there. And make sure that you guys go and just follow right now. And for people, I don't know if I want to donate yet, then just follow it. That's all I'm asking. We're trying to get to 200. Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll talk offline. Well, we should set some pre-campaign goals, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way to incentivize, our campaign, I think we ended up with 2,000 followers pre-launch, which is really good in our toy and action figure space.
Yeah.
I think we can blow that out of the water.
Yeah, I'm going to start promoting that more on the reactions and everything, though, too, because it doesn't cost you anything to follow it, because to follow it is basically to say, okay, well, let's see what you got for me, and let's see what you're announcing, and then I'll tell you if I'm interested. I think that's totally fair. But that's my point, Galactus. That's okay, but you can follow the account.
Right.
So and that's what I say. If you're not able to do it, follow the account, check it out, see what we're doing, so you know what we're doing and you're part of it. I still want you part of it. If you're part of this channel and you support this channel and you're part of the community, it's still your show. So let's just be part of it.
I came from I'm well past my corporate days, but one thing we did in project management in the corporate world is they always tell you, think about the last day and you've hit your goal. What do you want that to feel like? What does that look like? So this is what I would say to your audience. Think about launch day and we blow through the funding goal and the Schmodown's back.
In day one.
on day one. Think about
Yeah.
what that's going to feel like for this
Right.
community. It might be
Right.
a nightmare for you, but think what it's going to feel like for the community.
Yeah, they're gonna. We did it. They're gonna say we did it. You like be careful what you wish for is what they're gonna say to me.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%. I've already prepared for that because I'm telling you, especially if the Schmodown audience finds it and really starts to and Ed, I hope that you've already put this in the group, the Schmodown group. Please do and tell them the goals if you would be so kind to. And that's it. Yeah, see that's my point. So good. That's all I want you to do. And just for people so you know what it is, and you're not, because as Craig said, from today until October 22nd or 23rd rather, we're gonna be talking about this all day long, and I'm gonna be on and I'm still going to cover the movie stories and everything else too, and I'll be doing interviews and other things like I always do, but this is going to be my main focus. And then I think, Craig, on the 22nd itself, I'm probably going to take that full day and just stream from the second I get to the office until I go home at night. I'll be on probably all day on air, and I'm been on Campia Show a bit. I'll probably be on a few more times in during that month. Even if I'm doing, like, let's say we're doing a full live stream on that day, and then it's time for me to go do Campia Show, I'll get Roca in here. He'll host for that full hour. Then I'll come back and I'll make sure that I'm here doing it in the same way that I did when we did the Avengers chair turning thing. I think I had to go to the cleaners, and Winston took over and hosted the show. I was doing it. So
Oh yeah. Again, back to that interesting marketing for Doomsday.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I mean you have people need to understand this. You have a distinct advantage with this community that you built, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, and when you run a Kickstarter, you want everybody to know. I was talking to the guy at the DMV about it. He's like,
Oh,
"What are you
yeah,
talking-" you know,
great.
it's like you
I love
gotta get it out there.
I think that's the other thing for people to know too, like Craig just said. And even if you're like, and I was going back and forth with Derek Johnson, one of our great supporters, Derek Johnson, and he's like, I've been talking to my friends and telling my friends about it. Tell your friends about it. Let them see it. Let them, even if they don't watch the show, you go, well, look, this is the show that I watch. This is the imbecile that I listen to every day, and he says stupid things, but he's doing something here, and maybe this is like we hope that everybody is inspired to do something with this. So that's kind of that's the idea. So let's see. I'm looking right now. I'm going to double check before we get into our next story, Craig. Let's see exactly where we're at right now. We are currently
we're looking pretty good
right now at 115. Yeah. I like 115. It's a good, and so Craig and I are on a phone call with, again, I haven't announced any of the team yet, but we're directors and producers. We're on a phone call with them a little later on today, and it's going to be good for us to go into that meeting. Here's hopefully this is an inspiration for you guys. If you haven't hit that button yet already, we're talking about it, to follow us. Help us look a little bit more impressive when we walk into the meetings and say, hey, we hit 200 followers already going into the campaign. Yeah. So
I mean, help.
Yes, please, and thank you. Okay, do you have any interest in Dog Stars?
So this movie was not really on my radar until I saw a poster for it when I went and saw Spider-Man for the second time. I'm always going to be interested in a Ridley Scott project, right. And I really like the cast of this movie, but I don't know much about it other than I was reading the article you sent over today, and it feels like one of those movies that, like, I don't know, like a mid-90s movie that would have just had a really great run on TNT, and like it ends up finding an audience over time, but I'm not really sure what to think.
Which is totally fair. I haven't even seen too much of it. As I mentioned the other day, I had gotten a notification for a screening a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, you know what, I want to go and check that out. It's got a great cast, Ridley Scott, and I forgot about it. And I almost wrote to the rep yesterday and said, hey, wait a minute, you never sent me a screening for this thing. I was like, oh, you did. It just kind of went under the radar. So I am kind of, look, you just mentioned before, hit and miss stuff, right? Ridley Scott is kind of the definition right now, or hit and miss, and a little bit more misses, unfortunately, that he's had. But I'm with you. I always want to see what he's going to do, because he's just so great, and you're waiting for the next great one to hit. But this doesn't seem like the one, because right now the Dog Star reviews are in, and this was Jacob Elordi. And the reviews are in for the post-apocalyptic thriller Dog Stars, and the results aren't good. With a 66 reviews counted, the film sits at just 39% on Rotten Tomatoes, alongside with a 51 out of 100 on Metacritic. To put that in perspective, the film sits about on par with Scott's Hannibal and Kingdom of Heaven theatrical cut a little below his Robin Hood and a little above his Counselor. I mean, everything has to be above the Counselor. Reviews indicate star Jacob Elordi is good, but let down considerably by a very route script, which feels overly familiar and has little to say for its threadbare characters to do so. David Rooney, Jacob Elordi leads with introspective movie star magnetism that evokes the heyday of Kevin Costner, while cinematographer Eric Messerschmitt's panoramic vistas lend the unhurried but engrossing stories of grace. Let's see. Anybody else saying no here? I don't know a lot of these people. Let's try this one. This messy look at the end of the world isn't Scott's darkest film, but it's one of his worst misfires. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, there's a few. I saw Roxy Streyer's after thoughts, and she liked the movie. She thought it was weird and cool, and she dug watch it. She said she was locked in from start to finish. She said, however, when she was there, the audience she was with did not feel that way, and I guess felt a little bit more this way. So I get bummed to hear, but it is that same kind of boring point that I'm about to make, which is it impossible to get Ridley Scott to realize, hey, maybe we should just try to do this on streaming, because this type of movie is not going to work on the big screen.
Oh man, if this was coming out Friday on Netflix, it's the biggest
Right.
movie in the world, right?
Right.
Everybody sees Dogs.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. We're in such a weird time with media in general. I think it's interesting. I always think of the movie star thing, where it's like you've got Margaret Qualley and you've got Jacob Elordi. Like on paper, in our circles, people should be flocking to the theater because these are the hot. I mean, he might be the next James Bond.
I hope not. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I like him. I just think he's too tall to play James Bond, but that's a whole other story.
He's too tall in general.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
In general. That I don't think he helped himself on that one.
It's too much for me.
Hey, can you bring down the tall? Can you bring it down a little bit? Tone down the tall.
Could we calm down a little bit?
Yeah, calm the tall down.
Okay, it was enough. What was the movie? Saltburn.
Oh, right.
Hey, that movie's pretty cool. I'm really excited for the Beatles movies, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I don't know. Maybe I see this when it eventually does make it to streaming. Ridley Scott. I don't know if you saw this kind of in one of the interviews he did. He said he's working on the third Alien movie.
Yeah, I saw that
David trilogy.
You know what? Let's bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another story we can get into. As he was doing promotion for this one, Ridley Scott confirms that the third Alien prequel. And let's see. Ridley Scott confirms he's still pursuing a follow-up to 2017's Alien Covenant film project that would essentially end the trilogy that began with Prometheus. Speaking with The Times while out promoting the Dog Stars, Scott confirms his follow-up is still in the works and would once again center on Michael Fassbender's David Android character. He tells the outlets the story will pick up with David creating a brave new world for himself and remains fascinated with the malfunctioning AI character. ALS can go off, and if they do, it gets a bomb. A little over a year ago, Scott had indicated he was done with the franchise and had seemingly handed the keys over to Alien Romulus director Fede Alvarez to helm a follow-up to that film. At the same time, the Alien Earth series aired on FX with a second season currently in production. Reports emerged months ago that Alvarez exited the Romulus sequel over creative differences, possibly involving Scott, while filmmaker Sebastian Vanasek was also linked to some non-Romulus related projects. I don't think this is a great idea to do I would much rather see, and first of all, I'd rather them bang on the door to Fede Alvarez and say, we're so sorry, please come back, do a part. Romulus to me is one of the best Alien movies they've done in a long time. I love that movie.
Yeah, I'm so mixed on the Alien franchise in general. I mean, obviously love Alien. First one's I've never been as high on Aliens.
You're more of a horror guy? Because it's more horror the first one. The second one's more like action.
It's interesting because it traditionally I love action movies.
Oh, okay.
And James Cameron's he's made Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies of all time. But I just love the first Alien. I love the vibe. Obviously, I kind of dig Prometheus. Covenant was not good in my opinion. So I kind of like the weirder aspects of Alien.
Sure.
I've not watched Alien Earth. Loved Romulus though. Cool movie.
I liked a lot of Alien Earth, and then I wound up bailing on it. So I guess I was like, okay, it's cool for a little bit, and then I just kind of, people said it got better and better, but I just really liked Romulus. I really liked
Yeah.
Romulus, and I really liked what both Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson did in that movie, and I liked how they tied it into the original Alien. I thought that played really well. I would prefer to see that, and I prefer to see. I think Fede Alvarez got a hold on it. I think he's a little bit more, hungry, and he's in his prime.
One of my one of my things I get caught up on is if you're going to continue. Listen, I love a sequel. I love a legacy sequel.
Mhm.
If you're going to continue a franchise, get somebody who's passionate about the franchise. When they put it back in the originator's hands, it just never. Their perspective on it is not going to be that of the fan who wants more. Normally, I'm not always.
Sometimes, but normally you're right. Yeah.
So I kind of agree. I mean, listen, but also we're back to circle around. It's Ridley
Yeah.
Scott. So he made Alien and he made Blade Runner, and
Yeah.
what are you gonna do?
I know.
Black Hawk Down. I mean, he's got a great resume.
Well, going to your point though, look at Blade Runner 1, and then he hands it off to Denis in his second Blade Runner, and it's like, people love that one.
Right. And
didn't do well, but still, it people love it.
We've told this story many times on YHS, but famously, director Jason Reitman of Ghostbusters Afterlife, yelled at all three of us for not having seen Blade Runner 2049. One time when we chatted with him, and he gave me some of the greatest advice I've ever had in my life, which is, you have to watch more than just Ghostbusters. I was like, oh.
That's good advice.
It was
That's
great.
really good
I was
advice.
like, I told the guys, I was like, we're gonna have to branch out. There's more out there apparently.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
In all seriousness though, me and my wife, we collect VHS, and me and Abby, we watch VHS all the time. And I don't remember which tape it is, but it might be Hook. One of them has a trailer for 1492.
Wow.
Which is a movie I've never seen. And every time I always forget, even though it's like once a month, I go, oh, this is Ridley Scott. I got to check out this movie.
Old school. Yeah.
So,
Old school.
Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm curious what people think. Put your thoughts in there as far as Ridley Scott goes. Are you going to see this one? Do you care? Are you going to wait to streaming in general? You think that, because the one thing is, if people want to still keep giving funding to movies, and he still wants to make them, who's to tell him to stop? It's like, keep making them until nobody wants you to make movies anymore. That's what I would say. Anyway, put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, we're going to get to our questions. We have almost 30 that we're going to take from all you guys. And as I mentioned to you beforehand, what we will be doing is go through all the super chats. And today I'm going to highlight the chat because I can bring up the Kickstarter again to show you guys kind of what we're dealing with, what we're talking about. There are going to be more updates as we continue to go through the days. There's going to be more updates. Craig's working on them, so you'll be able to see it. And then we're going to be discussing with the crew today about some more stuff. And then I should have some more information for you within the next couple of days on some stuff too. So, and we are currently at, like I said, we have 129 followers. I think 200 is doable by the time we get to the end of the show. And
for sure.
There's there've been in and out between 500 to 600 people watching live right now. We'll have more people throughout and I'm assuming by the time we hit the replay, I'm just going to put this as the pinned comment, and you guys will go and check that out. So make sure I will highlight your comments. Super chats are non. PLD will see them if they're about the Kickstarter. He will star them. So ask your questions now. He's taking a look at them. You got Craig here. He will be back again. I don't know when he's coming back, but probably soon. But I would ask him as many questions as possible now as you can. So and things that I could potentially learn from your questions. All right, yeah. Ron H. Happy Wednesday, all. Technically, shouldn't we call it hashtag trending? It's how you wrote it. I'm just reading it. Maybe add an exclamation point. Well, we do have a hashtag in there. I think that when it comes to, there'll be more information on it as you see it. You wouldn't call it hashtag trending, but you just call it trending. Yeah. But Craig, actually, before we can get into it, I wanted to make sure that can you tell us what's going on? Because you mentioned the Ghostbusters and you mentioned everything. Can you tell us what's going on with your channel and the things that your podcast, things you're working on?
Yeah. So our main channel's YHS podcast. We're in year 10 It's been a great summer. We went to Comic-Con. We've had a bunch of events that we've been covering. I wanted to just plug our most recent episode. We had on a friend of ours, Trevor Morgan, great actor. You might remember him. He started off as a child actor, so he was in Jurassic Park 3. He was in The Patriot, Sixth Sense, and now he's a writer and director, and he is putting out his new film, Best Thing. And we had him on the show this week. We got to watch the movie. It was unreal, real punch in the gut kind of movie. So happy for him. He's premiering it out at a film festival in Italy this week. And it was just a really great conversation. He's an awesome guy. And we really kind of dig into the filmmaking process and what it's like to take a passion project and kind of will it into existence. Other than that, we have shows every week. You can subscribe to the channel at YHS Podcast on YouTube and Instagram. And we do a lot of Ghostbusters content. So as more news comes out about the new Ghostbusters animated series and the future of the franchise, we will be covering it.
Can you do me a favor, Craig? Can you put a link of your channel in the private chat, and PLD will put it in the live chat?
I sure can.
Please. Okay. So that was number one from Ron. Thank you, Ron. Ron also follows up. He said, Kristian, when you go on Ralph Garman's show, which I will be, I hope you can mention my little odyssey to get people to watch Hollywood. Tell them the screenwriter was the best part. I will do my best. I'm going to be doing, we're promoting this show, Ron, but we'll see what can happen. And I guess this is a Craig question more than a me thing, but hey, Kristian, can I start a Kickstarter to get equipment for a YouTube channel that I want to start? If so, what should my budget be and how should I market it? I think the first thing I would say is, this is, as Craig mentioned, we're going to be doing that YouTube kind of class, that master class type of thing. So, and Luke will be doing these with me too. And Luke's brilliant when it comes to this stuff, and he'll be helping me out. And this is one of the things that we have in the you're not giving away too much, but it's equipment and which stuff to get. And I should mention equipment, and hopefully you guys can notice, but my new camera that I've been working with, and both Val, who's Ming's son, who helped set this up, and Luke kind of helped us. We finally got the color in a place that we've been looking to try to do for forever. Luke was like twitching because we got the camera working yesterday, and he's like, yeah, the color's still not there. And then he worked with Ming today, and they made it happen. So but yeah, but as far as marketing and as far as the other stuff goes, Craig, you got any opinions on that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yeah, I don't think Kickstarter would be the right avenue, or it wouldn't be the correct avenue. So I guess this would be a really good point.
Yeah,
Kickstarter is mainly, well, let me say this. If you were to say, hey, I have an idea for a YouTube channel and I want to raise funds on Kickstarter, I guess technically you could do that. But Kickstarter traditionally was for folks launching companies, launching projects, and they're looking for, it's an alternative way to fund your goals, versus like getting an investor or a loan or something like that. As far as like, hey, if it kind of sounds like what you're saying is, I want to start a YouTube channel, the equipment's expensive,
help me,
right?
Yeah.
So I don't think Kickstarter would be the best avenue for that. But
like Indiegogo or something, maybe.
I would
not
think,
even that.
Yeah, not even that. I would think what I would say is, you can get a YouTube channel off the ground with bare minimum equipment. In fact,
true.
You could just do it with a laptop and do something pretty good. Kristian, you mentioned the tier you're going to do in the Kickstarter would be a really great way to kind of learn the ropes. The one thing I always tell anybody, because people ask all the time, hey, I want to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Most people do this. Most people spend a couple $1,000s on the equipment, the microphone, the computer, and then they set up the Instagram, and then they set up the Facebook, and they set up the YouTube, and they put all this work in, and then they don't do it.
Right.
The key to all this is doing it.
100%.
It's more important
consistency
than any other aspects. So I hope that kind of answers it.
It does. It's actually the number one rule, and I always equate it to, and I'll say this inside of the classes and stuff too, but I always equate it to stand-up comedy. The most important thing in like year one is not necessarily how many people are watching me, how many of this. It's getting comfortable on camera. It's knowing what your channel is about, doing the reps, like putting out the material. You'll start putting things out there And even you watch this channel, like, and I had been doing YouTube for quite a while, but you look at the evolution of this channel, go back and look at my oldest video and look how shitty the thumbnail is. And then, or look at like even the quality of the camera, and like, you continuously are improving and putting and doing things and changing things up. Right. Like I was doing stuff out of my garage, and I had to like put stuff on the wall. I remember leaks in the place. It's like, you just work with what you have.
Right.
And build. So what I would say is exactly what Craig just said, is if you have a budget and you want to just put the money into it because you're like, hey, I just want to look good right off the bat, and I have an idea and I know what I want to do, go for it. But you don't have to do that initially. It's getting comfortable. That's the main thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Ron, who do we kick to start this thing? Roka? No kicking. Get out of here, people. But yes, it is. Right now, again, I'm going to keep giving these updates, and we are currently at, let's say, I just refreshed it. We're currently at 137. Come on, guys, because 60 more. This is one of those things where, like, this is like, I never sit and I never tell people, oh yeah, put in super chats. What the fuck is wrong? That's one thing. You're putting your own money, but this one, come on, what are you doing? Follow the damn thing. Push the button, so we know, so we can tell you what we got going on.
Yeah.
Okay. There he is, Derek Johnson, my buddy. I'm signed up, verified my email, and I got my notification set. I'm ready to contribute on my end. I appreciate that. I go back and Derek's been one of our awesome. He's been one of our heavy supporters on this channel. He's been monumental in when we started kind of getting this thing off the ground, and he's been wonderful. I went back and forth with him in general today, and I'm glad to have his support. And he was the one who said he was telling his friends about it as well.
That's awesome.
Ron H. R.I.P. to Tim Curry. I knew him best from Clue, 1985. Yeah, he was great in that movie. Absolutely best. Following up, DJ also says Legend, Clue, Rocky Horror, Blue Money. R.I.P. to Tim Curry. Yeah, everybody should be honoring him. As I said, we're doing this a little different today. Normally, we do all of the questions first, like the super chats, and then highlight but because we have Craig on today, anybody who has questions regarding the campaign, they will be starred and answered. Bama Michael, 1138. Will there be a pledge overtime opportunity with this campaign?
So we talked about it. I think we ended up settling on no. And the reason for that is majority of the for those who don't know, Kickstarter now is a pledge over time option where you can split your pledges over 3. Like a payment plan almost, which is really cool. And we used it for our action figure campaign. But we also had a much higher like average because, physical product and all that. So we knew a lot of people were wanting to drop $500, $600, $700, and it's easier to split it up. A lot of the opportunities to back this campaign are going to be quite affordable. And, just from like getting into the weeds, when you split it up over 3, one thing I realized on our campaign was that we had, a lot of people, they do it and then they forget to switch out their debit card. And then it kind of created a little bit of chaos on the back end. So we, not for this one. No.
Yeah.
Long-winded answer there.
And like I said, we're really pushing for, we understand there's going to be people who want to go in the higher tiers, and they're going to, we've seen people already generous donations saying they're going to be going at a really high level, and then there's other people who are just like, look, I'll be part of that 13,000 people who put in the $25. I'll throw that in. Or, hey, you know what? I can only put $5 in. Great. Whatever you can do. And then, Abernathy, saving it makes you a follower, right? Not saving it. You mean saving? Well, I think. Wait, hold on. Where is it? When you go to? Oh yeah, yes.
Notify.
Yes. It says notify. Yes. So again, let me double check. So when you click that button, and now we're at 142, guys. We're pushing. I think we can get to 200. I think we can do it. And then Joseph Ashley. So this is to sign up to Kickstarter to get notified when it starts. Yes, 100%. So as Craig is working nonstop on updating the page and everything too, you guys will be updated and notified about what's going on. But especially with the day that it launches, you'll know day one that it's time to go. And then and that's why I wanted every day to try to get to tomorrow's goal will be 400 people. Tomorrow, the goal after that will be 600 and then 1,000. And then we want to try, I would love to get to like if we have what right now, we've got just about almost not a month, but a little less than a month before we launch.
Right.
I would love to get to like 5,000 followers before launch. That would be
That'd
great.
be epic. That'd be awesome.
That'd be great. That's my goal. Is I'm going to push
Cool.
to 5,000. I'm going to tell people on the on the reactions and everything else too, to do that, to sign up, and then so you kind of learn what's going on. So, Cadaver 82. Dumb question. Not dumb. If we hit the goal and Schmodown returns, based on how much you said it costs, how will it get funded? A second. No. Wait a minute. It's funny because I thought about this morning. So it's not a dumb question. It's a good question to ask. So basically what he's asking, Craig, is what it would take to continue this Schmodown as a full-on season. What we ran it for at Skybound was not enough. And we had a pretty big budget, right? It was not enough to keep it going. We needed a real high budget. So it's a smart question with Cadaver in general. And well, wait a minute. If you needed that number, how the hell are you going to do that afterwards? I ain't running a full season. I'm running a tournament. I said, that's why a 16-person tournament. We will look, if we overperform, that's one of the things that you guys are being aware of, that, one of the things they'll go to and probably go into like, a couple of matches or something too. But nonetheless, we could also figure out that on the side of it, whether it's, we'll figure that out. A 16-person tournament, an 8-person tournament, a live event, we'll figure that out. A full season where we're filming, and we need to film every week, and we need to film, at live events and all that stuff. That's where, remember, the budget that I told you guys about that we used to run, that was also covering live events and other things though too. So it's like, yeah, there was a lot that went into it. So not a dumb question. It's a good question, but they're two different things.
Yeah. And I think we'll have some really interesting stretch goals related to that, right?
Yeah.
Like if you are, because the Schmodown, that's a whole other part of the audience. And if that generates interest for the overall project, and there's a way to enhance that and say, hey, like we're going to have stretch goals related to trending and the Schmodown and everything else. So it's going to be, it's really cool. It's a culmination of a long building of your community, man.
Exactly. And that's why I want you guys to follow along, because you can see more stuff. And that's also why I want you to get involved in this chat today and talk and ask like a question like Cadaver just had, because you don't understand. And Craig, correct me if I'm wrong, but stuff like this is super helpful to you.
Yeah, because when we build out the page, right, like I said earlier, it's an education opportunity, right? So we need to make sure that all of you guys understand exactly what it is. But even beyond that, we need to make sure that somebody who comes to the page who has no idea who Kristian is, no idea what trending is, has no idea what a Schmodown is not confused, right?
Right.
Or overwhelmed, so it's almost like that balance of the hardcore folks and then also the new to franchise, as we call them. So
again, please, this is that opportunity here today there's so many great questions already. Keep throwing those questions in there, and PLD will keep starring them, and you keep us on the air longer, and we get to bullshit with you guys. So like, do that. The Lil Yankee, I'm one of the first 40 that signed up to be notified. I got 2 mains. Here's a question. Can I contribute multiple times with the campaign, and can it be tallied at the end?
Okay, this is an awesome question. So 2 things to know about Kickstarter. 1, you can only contribute once on your account. So whatever your backing tier is your tier. Having said that, Kickstarter does not collect your payment until the campaign is over. Not when it funds, not on day 1, not on day 10. Your payment is collected at day 31 or whatever it is. So one thing we're going to stress big time is, because it's really, really important for majority of the funding to happen in that first 72 hours. So if you are planning on backing the campaign, there is absolutely no reason to not do it immediately. Now, we know a lot of people are going to wait, just the way it goes, but you can, let's say you're like, I really want to put in for the $200 tier, but I'm not going to be able to really swing that till, a couple weeks from now. You could still back it. You will not get charged on your card until the end of the campaign.
Can you change? So let's say you sign up for the $5 spot on day 1, but then by day 15 you go, you know what, I want to up it. Can you up it?
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And there's
there
going
you
to be add-on opportunities as well. So let's say you really like the t-shirt, but you don't want to do the tier that it's in, but you're going to put in $10, but you just want the shirt, you could do that too. So there's going to be plenty of ways to
do it.
customize it
Yeah.
for whatever you want.
Which will be perfect in general. So, like, just to let people know that's what we're working on. Lily Yankee, R.I.P. to two legends, Dolly and Timmy. It's absolutely terrible. Well, I mean, yeah, it's like, as Craig was saying earlier, it's just like, yeah, when you're getting older, it's like you see people when you were younger, like, they were like they were it. They were it.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Ron H. Curry as a Horned Devil in Legend. That's right. In Legend, he was as Darkness. 100%. Great call. Armada. Curious about the Dog Stars, but it has a bad tomato meter. Yeah, 39% or whatever. Not great. Greenie from Oz. What's Doom's goal? Anything specific? I think you might find that out. Maybe at least a little bit more of a tease in the with that first look. I think you're gonna get a little bit more in the Endgame stuff. Yeah. Johnny Patriza. Is Kristian going to be one of the 16? This I can give a definitive no chance. There's no world where I'll be competing. Now, whether or not I will be on the desk or just running things from behind the scenes, or doing the announcing or something, I probably have to do the ring announcing. I probably have to do that for old time's sake. But no, I'm not going to. There's no way I can compete for a lot of different reasons. Armada, Winston, Kristian, Craig, and Mike group play for GTA 6 online. That could be fun.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, let me get to this. Okay, so we got a lot of questions coming in. Keep them coming, guys. Keep them coming. Like I said, we're going to be here. This is why Craig is here today. Ask him everything that you can.
Yep.
Please and thank you.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
I quit my job for this episode. No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, wait a minute.
I called out this morning.
Good. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Follow the Kickstarter. Miss Smets and his games, but Craig is cool. I've been out of town, and any idea when Kevin is back? Best of luck with trending. Thank you. Yes. So Kevin is going to be back in probably in early September. If not next week, then the following week. We've been talking, and don't worry, he is very excited to come back. Can't wait to come back. He'll be helping us with the campaign, with his games and everything else too, and really appreciate it. And as far as trending goes, once again, that's the show. The Kickstarter PLD, if you can put the Kickstarter link in the chat once again. This is myself and my writing partner and co-star, Martini Paratori. The two of us, as we are on location to shoot our video. We are very excited for this. Can't wait for you guys to see what we did as far as the video itself goes. And there you go. Armada. Doom's going, what's more, chicken Alfredo? It sounds pretty good, actually. Yeah. I love this question. Jesus Martinez, how soon after the goal is met do you expect production of the show? So I asked the director and producer of this question. Now, I'll let you guys ask this same question when I do get a chance to introduce you to them. You should ask this again. They want to go. If we raise the money, they want to go. They want to jump into production, and they want to shoot, if not the end of the year, beginning in January. They want to go. Now, that could change. But that's the answer that I got, and that's a question that you absolutely should ask when I finally introduce you to them. Okay, Abernathy, you could do an Essential Clone Wars marathon with Sam on one of your 24-hour streams. Oof! I mean, Sam is going. It's funny because I had sent Sam the script. She finally read it, but she was also looking at the footage, and I was telling her the story today, and she was asking me how many seasons, and I was telling her about all the things that I already know where the show's going to go, and she's like, oh my God, don't tell me it's a spoiler. She's like, oh, wait, hold on, tell me. And then she's so invested already in the characters. And she's like, I want to do anything I can to help get this made. And I go, just talk about it when we do, our reactions. And so, but something like that, I don't know, maybe. Bama Michael, if we hit the goal day one, there needs to be a chair watch for the 16 competitors from out to run. I actually love that idea.
That's pretty awesome.
I actually love that idea. I'm going to screenshot that and send that to Craig, but I actually love that idea. I think that I will absolutely do that. It would be great to have both Ellis and I sitting there as you turn the chairs to see who's in the tournament. I think that's brilliant. So yes, Bama, I'll tell you everyone right now, Bama, you can thank Bama Michael for that. I will 100% do that. PLD, hold me to that. I will. If we hit our 16, we hit day one, I will 100% do that, Bama. That's a brilliant idea. Gopal, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much for doing it. Listen, we got a live stream coming up tomorrow. If you are a member, you are going to be part of it, and you should go and you come check it out. And hopefully, we're going to be talking about the show and doing other things. And let me say, I'm doing a reveal. Let's tell me I got the 200, guys. Come on, I think we got it. 160. Come on, 40 away to hit our goal today. There's a ton of you watching. Let's do it. Let's get here. I'm putting in that thing again. 40 of you, just so I shut the fuck up. Here's the next one. Go pal. I appreciate it. He said always down from our quarterly movie on streaming, right? Ron H. I'm Filipino. Almost everyone is too tall. Fair enough. Armada 8YT. Ridley jumps too many projects for him to focus heavily on one at a time. I think that's a fair point. It's probably why you get a Dog Stars or Gladiator 2 that's meh. It's a good point.
He is prolific.
He is. It's a good point though. It's like I mean, for his age too, he's on like so many different things. Like where's his attention go? You know? Unheard Sirens Incorporated. Lord, give some of your tall to Tom Cruise. I'm begging you, stop hogging all the tall. It's true. It's true. Greenie from Oz. Props to Ridley. Hope I'm productive when I'm that productive when I'm 89. I mean, it's truth. 100%. 100%. Princess, I'll ask again. If day one funding happens and we get 16-person schmodown, can we get a chance for the committee? Yes, 100%. Go pal. Idle question. As far as the value of following on Kickstarter, does it matter at all if you've backed previous Kickstarters?
No. There's not like a like a coded system in the back end, or anything like that. It basically it's like anything else, right? Like if you think of Kickstarter launch page as like a social media platform, right? The more people that follow it, the more that Kickstarter will internally recognize it as something to pay attention to.
Yeah. Okay. And again, if we can get, if we overshoot the 5,000 following goal, I mean, that's going to show what would you say, Craig, would be a good number that Kickstarter goes, hey.
I mean, so the whole thing is this, right? So let's say we have 5,000.
Yeah.
Or even if it was, let's say 5,000. When we launch, all 5,000 people get that notification on their phone or email, whatever. We are go. People start backing.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's all this traction happening. So there's an organic, nature to that where it's just out there and people are telling their friends and there's social media posts and there's streams and everybody involved is promoting it, and it kind of creates that groundswell. But from just like an algorithm type of viewpoint, Kickstarter, because they take a percentage, right?
Yeah.
So it is advantageous for them to get behind projects that already are showing kind of that groundswell we're talking about. So it doesn't really answer the question. I mean, every project's completely different, but if you have 5,000 or 8,000 followers going into this, it's going to be a massive day one. It is going to be something that Kickstarter is putting on their social media, getting to that front page. And then because this is, I know we haven't talked about who's involved with this yet, but this is the kind of thing, maybe you get trade coverage. Maybe you get that Deadline or Hollywood Reporter or Variety, or Snyder. You better get the Snyder.
We got to get Snyder. But PLD, I'll bring you in for a second. We're not saying who, but knowing who the director is, we should probably be able to get a Hollywood Reporter or something.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. All right. Let's see. Lincoln West. What's up, Link? Good luck with trending. Thank you. Have Kevin promoted on his KOTOR channel, 102,000 people strong. Will you bring back IG so Smasher can return? I'll be donating. Well, thank you so much. I think what I will probably do in a situation like that is that I would most likely put IG competitors in the 16-person tournament, but make it very clear to the entire tournament that there will be IG slices on the line in each tournament to make it fair. And even in the first round and other things too, to make it like a blend of the entire league, Greenie from Oz, support Terry Johnson. Thank you. Armada, you're all curious for the uprising with Garfield. I'm curious anything. Garfield's one of my favorites today. He's one of my favorites in working today. So, Patrick Fournier, 201. Kristian, you talked about the Patterson cut of Kenobi, but you didn't watch the Ahsoka Patterson cut. It's much better. I highly recommend it. Oh, I'm planning on watching, but I'm not going to watch it until we get to right before season 2 of Ahsoka, because I want to basically show Sam that. And if I show her that, then leading into Ahsoka season 2, it'll probably be easier. Yeah. Here's one for you, Craig. Ayoshi Yumatsu. Probably a silly question, but if anyone wants to donate, but not for a tier in particular, can you?
Yeah, there'll be options to just make a monetary contribution without rewards, 100%.
Okay, so Greenie from Oz. So when does it actually start? It starts September 22nd. Again, so just to reiterate to everybody, and I this is one of those things I'll have to continuously do, and I realize that. And maybe we should do one graphic now, Craig, with the September 22nd thing on there.
For sure.
But we have September 22nd is when the show officially launches. And there are the pictures, and maybe I'll bring up one more time. I'll bring up the I'll show you guys the campaign itself once again. Here it is. This is the overall picture of it. We have 162 followers. It might be different. Let me refresh. Let me see. I'll refresh it. 164. Not too far away. Come on, guys. 36 people. That's easy. There is the script. Myself. There's my message from me. And then you get the little bit of what the show is kind of about there. A little bit more about it, as Craig mentioned before, the Project Greenlight portion of what inspired it. And then there's some of the perks right there. And then there's those pictures that I just showed you. And so there'll be more, as Craig is adding a lot of stuff. And I can tell you, I don't mind doing this because this is what I usually do. And I did this on the Schmodown all the time. I said to Craig this morning as we're about to launch, I said, hey, what I just realized is, and Craig put together this great thing. He had the director and a lot of stuff in there. And I go, we can't do that yet because I haven't revealed it. And he's like, easy fix. We can put all this stuff in there and we'll get more people. But that was up there too. So that will be in there sooner than later. But I thought that was pretty good. Anyway, it's like being as honest as I can with the audience. All right, so let's see. And now we did that. So we did that one, right? Yes. Oh no. Yes. That's the same one.
Oh, is there a minimum?
Is that the same one or is it a different one? Oh no. Oh yeah. He was asking anyone wants to, not for a tier, but is there a minimum for donations? So I think it's $5, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be like $5.
$5. Greenie from Oz. Schmodown fundraiser for the show would be epic. Well, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're going to be doing like one of those things where, I mean, look, if we overperform on the show in general, and then it's like one of those things that I've been taught, even the director and the producer were real big fans of the Schmodown idea too. And like, I wasn't even going to necessarily include them in that side of it. And like, well, what if we did it in Vegas? What if we did this? What if we did that? I was like, cool. So yeah. Michael D signed up. Might be a bit broke, but happy to help. Again, Mike, the biggest thing for me right now, and anybody in general who is just like, I don't know. All I'm asking you to, if you're watching the show right now, because still everybody who's watching hasn't done it, because I'm not asking anybody to put in money. I'm asking anybody right now to just sign up so you know what's going on. So I just sent it again. Armada, would Craig play in the Schmodown?
I don't think you guys want me in there. Maybe you do. Maybe you do. I don't know. Well, we'll see what.
Have you watched any of the Schmodown Vault? You should look at the Vault. If you go to the Schmodown,
let me go.
Yeah, go to the Schmodown Vault. The Schmodown Vault. What I've been doing, we just started the Schmodown Vault channel, and it's we've been uploading this entire entire season in continuity from season. See, it started as. And did you ever watch it beforehand, or you didn't know it before?
Years. I mean, I was definitely on my radar, but
okay.
I'd be lying if I said I was.
That's and that's fine. It started as just like a bit on our podcast that we did for season 1, which was a 16-person tournament, and then it was popular, so we did a teams tournament a year later, and then it was really popular. So then we made it a weekly show a year later, and then it just became a bigger thing, and it became more evolved each time. So Joseph asked you, will the Schmodown merchandise be on sale for this goal? I would like a swag and Wildberry shirt. Oh man. I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know about that one. I can't promise that yet. I can't promise that. I'd have to look at even what designs I still have. And then can you keep adding to it, Greenie from us? As far as the donation, I guess Craig had addressed that earlier.
Yeah, you can always go in if you've never done Kickstarter makes it pretty easy. So basically, like you'll have like a pledge manager page, and you can always go in there and modify it.
Yeah. Josh Six, what is your guys' plan about the issues with Googling trending TV show and just ending up with sites listing current top TV shows instead of going to your show, which is fair, right? So I think that if you put trending TV show with my name in it, it'll pop up, or Martini's name in it, or the director's name in it, or something. I think that'll pop up, and then when it gets picked up by streaming service after we make it, and you put, let's say hypothetically, Netflix, Apple, Amazon, whoever. Right. And you put the name in there, and then it pops up. I don't think that'll be as tough as you think.
All three, first time ever show will be splitting season 1 on Apple.
On all three, yeah.
It'll be on. It'll be
like
on
all of them. Yeah, we're gonna break tons of records. Yeah. Night Fox 1190. I'm on it'll be like Spider-Man, Sony and Marvel.
Exactly. It's unprecedented.
It's unprecedented. I'm on the page on Kickstarter. Once I click notify me on launch, am I following? Yes. That's it. So I'm checking right now. Let's see where we're at. I'm gonna say 166. 170. Guys, 30 away. 30 away to get me to not talk about any more number goals today and go back to it tomorrow. So here we go. I'm putting it in there again. Let's do it.
We should say, if you click on notify me, it will prompt you to log into your Kickstarter account or create one. Yeah. Right. So you have to have an account to be, involved.
Which takes 2 seconds. I did that last night. Yeah. Joseph Ashley, you can use different emails to back the same Kickstarter?
I mean, I think
say no comment.
Yeah, no comment, right? Yeah.
Say no comment.
That might go against their terms.
Yeah, say no comment. No comment. Ash Arnold Editing. Hi, I followed since the AfterBite days. Thanks, Aaron. Just left school at the time. You and Mark got me into film. And now 30, I work in film full time. I love that story. Just want to say thanks. Looking forward to the show. Look forward to you being part of the show. Looking forward to all you guys being part of the show. Do you know how badly I went? So I was actually pretty. I didn't mention this yet. I was pretty humbled. I met quite a few fans when I went to my trip to Los Angeles. There was one guy who was with his family. I thought I was going to the airport, I was arriving to LA, and he showed up and he's like, "Hey, listen, I don't want to bother you." I was like, "You didn't bother me at all." He's like, "I watched the show and I was talking to him. Super nice guy. Couldn't have been a nicer dude." Ran into a few more people about it. They were mentioned Fleetle Deedle and they were mentioned in the campaign and mentioned in the show. And I can't wait to see our show, one guy said to me. And then when I was at the airport coming back to New York, and I was trying to get an upgrade on my seat, right? And I was trying to get upgraded seat for my entire family. Not knowing that this guy watched the thing, and the guy's like, "Hey," because he's like, "No, we don't have any seats left." And he goes, "Hey, by the way, big fan of the show." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, man, appreciate it." And he said something about Fleetle Deedle or something along those lines. And then he was super nice and said he did give me an upgrade on my seat. But my wife's like, "What the hell are you doing?" She's like, "I got a seats all together. What are you doing?" And I was like, and I wound up giving it the comfort seat to the guy that they gave my seat to, because that would have gone over like a fart in an elevator. So I left that alone. Anyway, so Craig is awesome. Get Smets on him. But I'm sorry, I went off on a diatribe there. My point with all that is what I can't wait to see is I can't wait to be, whether I'm walking around in the city or I'm going somewhere else and I see someone wearing the shirt. That's gonna be that. I'm gonna get emotional when I see that. Yeah. I'm excited for that. Okay, sorry. Griffin Shaw Media. Craig is awesome. He is. Get Smets on with him for games. 100%. Absolutely. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. The Flinger. Is it supposed to be a one-shot season or going on series? I have about 6 seasons planned out. And this is what I was talking about with Sam today. I have about 6 seasons that are planned out. And she was asking the whole arc, because this is where the characters go in this, and then I have the backstory. And I think that's one of the things we talked about, Craig, is maybe I can put some of the backstory on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea, right? Like, to kind of, well, there's 2 things. I would love, I think the audience and myself, not to be selfish, I want to know just more of the origin story. Yeah. Of where the idea, came from, and how you came to it, and the
and I talked about that for a bit. You know what I should actually do is I should actually give you the link to the podcast where it came from. because
that'd
it
be
was
great.
because I'll tell it a brief summary to you is that essentially what happened was that I dated an actress back in the day, right? And there were rumors to who that actress was, and people wrongly assumed that it was my friend Bonnie Somerville. We played into it. We played into it on the air. We had this whole kind of fun thing back and forth, a couple different episodes, and then I said, "How funny would that be if you had to do a show like that with an ex?" And that was kind of the inception of the idea. And then my idea of it was that she was almost like at a level of like a Julia Roberts fame at one point, and then and then I had a version of that was written by an intern of ours that it wasn't what I was looking for. And then I had another writer who came on, and she was super talented, really good. We just didn't really see eye to eye on, and it just didn't work out. And
Sure.
and then I just kind of wrote my own version of it, and then it just sat on my shelf for like 10 years. And then when I was leaving to move to New York, I sat down with Martini because she was a friend. She's like, "Hey, I'm in LA again." I go, "Great, I'm moving to New York." And she's like, let's get breakfast. And we did. And I don't know how it came about. I know I had asked her to perform at the stand-up show that I was doing on my way out, but I also said, I have this script that I wrote a long time ago. Take a look at it. And she did, and she loved the premise of it. And she's like, "Great, but can we just completely gut it?" And we gutted it from scratch. And then instead of like the big A-list movie star, she became more of like a sketch comedy person. And then we kind of came up with their origin. We worked on this script for about a year before we sent it out to anybody. So that's kind of how that kind of all came to be.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's post the link to the pod
sure,
directly on the page. It'll be great.
We'll do. How about this guy? You ever hear of him? Attack Peter coming in hot. How much for signed 8x10s of both you guys? Love you both and excited for you, Kristian. This is going to be it. So for people who don't know, the reason that Craig and I even know each other is because of Attack Peter, who's become a very close friend of mine. And he's not only when I started the UAP side of things, so the way I met Peter is when we were both working at Skybound. He walked into the office and said, "Hey dude, just listen, I've been watching your show for a bit and I love what you do." And I was like, "That's awesome." We'd started talking and then I saw how talented of an artist he is and all the stuff that he does. And we just got along. We just kind of see things eye to eye. And when we were initially kind of trying to come up with a campaign and idea, he was helping me out with certain things because he's run various Kickstarter things and other things. And then, the campaign went into this direction we had some great people involved, just didn't go the way we were. It got too complicated. And I called Peter and I said, "Dude, I just need this thing. I want to go Kickstarter side of it." He goes, "Let me introduce you to my buddy. The guy's done this before." And he introduced me to Craig.
Yeah, Peter's the best.
He's the best.
He's on so we have our other channel, Toy Anxiety.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, Peter's he's one of the creative directors at Mondo, which is an amazing company, and he's just a good dude. I mean,
really good dude.
Vacationed together.
Oh, that's cool. Recently, right?
Yeah, we went to Horror Nights last year, and yeah, and also like for our
to confirm, you said horror, right? Not Horror Nights.
We went to Horror Nights last year. It's not for Halloween. They just do it around Columbus Day. Columbus Day Horror Nights in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's actually in Reno.
Yeah. It's in Reno. It makes sense.
It's awesome. We had a great time. Met some lovely ladies. No. We his UAP and UFO knowledge is awesome too. And
incredible.
We did Roswell Grays for our action figures.
Have you seen the thing that he sent me?
Oh, I know all about it.
Dude, look at that.
Look at that. I love that.
Isn't that great?
It's the best.
We have such a good blur now in the background. I'm trying to get a blur for the longest time on my videos. I finally get it, and I can't showcase the alien.
It looks awesime.
It's great. No, so
but
anyway,
he's
the man.
Guy.
He's the man.
He's the best.
So, and if you haven't checked out Peter, go to Attack Peter. He's awesome. You talk about talented. He sends me stuff all the time, and I'm always like so blown away by all this stuff that he sends me. It's great. Ron H, got to cut out early. Catch y'all tomorrow, please, Ron. Please. Okay. Ash Arnold editing. Do we know the goal number yet? No, I've mentioned this already too. You don't have any problem with me mentioning it again, do you?
No.
So here's the goal, Arnold. The goal, this is what I always preface with. As we are trying to put together a pilot that looks like it could be on, any one of these major networks, in reference, the Bears pilot was 1.1 million. Now we're not looking for that. We're asking for 250K, right? Now that's bare bones. That's bare. We want to overperform that. And you'll hear me say as much in my video. We want to overperform that. Because to really make the show, even with people taking cuts and everything too, and trying to still maneuver around it, that's why I keep saying, 13,000 people, 25 people. That's in between the 320, 350K range. That and that's also, you got to remember, that's going to be covering, because Craig's not doing this for free, nor should he. He's going to get a percentage because of what his work. And then we also got and we also have the Kickstarter takes a percentage. So that's going to come out of it. But for the most part, that big chunk of what it goes to casting. It goes to the crew. It goes to what goes into making a television pilot. And as Craig mentioned, and as we mentioned inside of the campaign itself, you're going to be watching all of it happen. You're going to be seeing it in the director side of it. You're going to see it in the casting. You're going to see all this stuff. So the goal right now is 250 with a real goal of 350, because here's my thought process, and Craig and I's thought process. Okay, we know that we'll have to, we're going to have to bare bones it if we hit that, but we'll still be able to make a show,
right?
One way or another. So if we bare bones, we bare bones. Okay. Ayoshi, how soon after Kickstarter ends and those donations are collected by the site do you guys actually get the funds? That's a good question.
It's about 14 days.
Okay.
It's pretty quick.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Joseph Ashley, hypothetically, what are the dream matches for Schmodown? Oh man. Look, I don't know yet, because I don't know who's in fighting shape. So yesterday's dream match couldn't beat today's dream match, because who knows who's in fighting shape. Yeah. Princess, the chairs idea was my idea, mother effer. Princess, we'll give it to both of you guys. Jalen Turner, I want that show. Are you talking about our show? Because of the pitch? I think that he's talking about that.
Yeah.
I hope he's talking about that. Well, good. I'm hoping that people are digging, because I'm wondering also if people, this is the first time they're kind of hearing what the premise is. Oh, we're 8 away, Craig. We're 8 away.
That's awesome.
200
followers on a soft launch on a live stream.
It's just me and you talking. We're not even really pushing anything too. So
you guys are making it easy on us.
There we go. So I just put that in there. Let's get to 8. 8 more people. That's it. And we got it. Yoshimitsu, this might be a basic and obvious question, but I assume that the Kickstarter keeps a percentage, and that has been factored into the goal. I guess I just announced that. Yeah. Yes, sure. It does for sure. It does factor into the goal. Like, yes. Greeny, is there a poster that'll come with Kickstarter launch for marketing?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have some sort of like digital kind of one sheet at some point, but we do know that the signed posters are going to be part of some of the tiers.
Right. I think right.
So yeah.
Okay. Auburn fan. Hey, Craig, is there a way for those of us who can't contribute financially to get involved in the business side? I have a lot of experience in analytics that I think could be helpful.
I mean, that honestly, that might not even be a question for me. I mean,
might be a director producer question.
There's a lot of different aspects to this, right? So there's Kristian's side of it, there's the production side, there's the campaign side. Luckily, Kickstarter has really enhanced their analytics, so they have an advanced analytics kind of built-in dashboard now.
Yeah.
And like one of the things we'll be able to see is like how many how many backers are people who converted from follows versus people who are just discovering it during the campaign, and what the what the conversion rate is, and what the average order value is, and all that kind of stuff. So, but you never know, there could be opportunities. I mean, if it really if we go the Felicia Day route, there might be opportunity. We might have to bring in some the troops.
Do you know how great that would be though, if like our little engine that could became one of those stories of like, to show people, of saying like, hey, yeah, we did it with an audience of just like, yeah, we've been hearing about this guy talking about it forever. We just want to make it happen.
Yeah.
And we did it because if you put the math together, now the chances of this potential thing is happening, potential chance of having 232,000 people watch all of your videos is 0% really, or maybe, but hypothetically, if 232,000 people who maybe some of the inactive subscribers, when let's say again, $25. Okay. What's 232,000 times 25?
232,000 times 25 is 5,800,000.
Now that's hypothetical, right? And like it's a number that's out there. The chances of it, but they're numbers that if those people who are subscribed happen to be on that day and say, yeah, why not? We already showed with the numbers that there's some people who just the one guy just said financially, I just can't do that right now. But I'm just saying that the numbers are out there, and like even to see that Felicia Day, who broke the record, did 45,000.
Yeah,
45,000 backers. That's and she worked her behind off, going to different podcasts and trades and everything, and she did everything as you said, full-time job, making it happen. And that's what it takes. And we all have to say together, let's freaking do it. Let's all wear the shirts and walk around like a freaking trending gang. Let's do it.
The opportunity is bountiful, right?
Yeah.
Sky's the limit. One step at, I mean, this is like we said, this is pre-step one, but this is
right.
But this has been a lot of fun so far.
Let's see. Next one here. Let me make Sam came in. Pilot question 1. I worked on a doc with a vet filmmaker. I managed to get a rebate for an editor in New Mexico for him, even though we were based in New York. Maybe look if Made in New York applies despite LA shoot. Well, that first of all, amazing idea. We have to see what we do and what we raise, right? Because as Craig was mentioning in PLD when I asked him, we should have some access to some pretty good directors and editors through the director and everything too. But that goes back to let's overperform. Let's overperform so then we don't have to worry about it in general. But that's a great suggestion in general.
Sure.
Ayoshi Yamatsu, director's Alan Taylor, isn't it? Oh man. We'll have to see. Joseph Ashley, how much is Kickstarter percentage on the end goal? I don't know. We mention that, right?
I mean, it's pretty. It's a standard thing. It's part of it's out there. I think it's like a standard 5%, and then they take there's a processing fee through their credit card, so it's like it's like 10% total. Okay.
Red carpet talk. Pilot question 2. When writing, how do you attempt to make the dialogue feel as organic as possible? It's a great question, and one of the things like Martini and I went to a lot of StreamYard videos and other things that we did, and we just we talked through it. We had conversation. I wrote a version of it. She punched it up. Then we read it through together. We pinched some stuff up. She's like, hey, I need a joke there. Throw that in there. Would that be? And then we had some people read some of the things and go, there was one scene that comes from an actual thing that happened to me that I used to say in stand-up, and PLD, among other people, was like, it was a funny bit, but it just kind of comes out of nowhere and it doesn't really fit for this episode. And there was like 5 people that said that. And I said, it's like a joke when you do a stand-up. You go, it's not hitting. And like everyone said it was funny, but it just came out of nowhere. And it was really happened is the thing that I did. But I said, I could save it for a different episode. So we cut it out, and then it started to flow better. And then the conversation started coming out a little bit more as we started to really learn a little bit more on who they were. Motorola. Speaking of Joey, look at what you did. Look at Joey. This is Joey. Joey took some great pictures.
It's awesome.
Great pictures. Those are among a bunch that he sent me, but they look really, really good. So really loved what Joey did there. Amazing work, Joey. I was so happy. It was nice to see Joey again, because Joey was one of our photographers on Schmodown, and he came in. He's just a really quiet, quiet dude, and he's like, I love when he's around because he's so proud of his family, and I am too. So like, we were in the middle of a break. He's like, hey, come here. Show me a picture of his family and stuff and like what's going on. And he's so right. I love that. Joey's the best. Awesome. Red carpet. This is Sam. Pilot question 3. I see locations is listed as part of the BTS process that Kickstarter backers will be involved in. What does that entail?
Yeah, I mean that basically just means as location scouts are happening, and there's video and photography of that you guys will get access to it. Like you'll start seeing where the show's going to be shot, and if listen, this might not happen, but it could be the kind of thing where maybe you narrow it down to 2 locations, and you can't decide which is going to be better, and you put a poll out, right? There's going to be opportunity to actually contribute.
Craig, 203. We hit it.
Love it.
We did
That's
it.
awesome,
203. We're going to aim for 400 tomorrow. That's going to be the goal. So thank you guys for really getting us there. And okay, I mean, who knows? Maybe by the time we finish, there'll be 300 today. I don't know, but nonetheless, Steve B, does the Kickstarter page have a date on it? Yeah, September 22nd. September 22nd.
9/22, and we'll make it. I'm going to edit it on the main logo to make sure that everybody sees that. But yeah, 9/22.
Saul. Let's see. Kristian, I'm taking my time to think about this and think I'm ready to take you up on your pitch to join the singles division. Now everyone's going to be coming out of the woodwork.
Now,
again.
right? Yeah. Everyone's going to be.
Yep, they're going to be coming out of the woodwork.
That's
Saul's a big personality. He'd be great. But look, I've got to figure out everything. We got to see what happens on day one. Mike, throwing 10 joules. Thank you. Joseph Asher, you're going to put Mike Cornslice on the wheel to cover him over. Seems like so. Mike is a porn connoisseur, so that's what he's talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. Dope Dawn Design 6816. Kristian, congrats. Don't forget to let me know about the custom prize tier. Oh, is that? Oh, so are you talking about as far as the? I think he means, which ones he means? Is he talking about the reaction thing? Double check. PLD will store. Give me a follow on that one. Dope Design, please. Oh no. You know what? I think this is the guy. This is the sneakers. I think this is the sneakers.
Gotcha.
This is the sneakers. Yes, he wrote me. Confirm with me, but yes, Dope Design. We were going back and forth on Instagram, and I'm so glad that you popped in here because there could be something where we can do. It'd be limited tier, but maybe if you get in at a certain tier, you can get custom design trending shoes or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
let me know.
You know what?
Listen,
do me a favor. If that is you, I'm pretty sure that is you. Hit me up on Instagram again, and I'm going to put you in touch with Craig, and then you guys can talk because I love that. I love that.
One thing I'd love to ask the audience in general over the coming days.
Yeah.
What kind of physical rewards get people excited? Right, like T-shirts, posters, like limited edition merchandise, because we have the opportunity to. We want you guys to feel like there's value in it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there might be something we're not even thinking about. You guys are you looking for Schmodown trading cards signed by all the participants? I don't know. Maybe it's out there.
I mean, so what, Joseph Ashley just talked about the Schmodown shirts. I'd have to go through my old designs and see. I mean, maybe Aaron can make some of those for us. I have to look. I just don't know how many people besides Joseph would be interested in that. I don't know.
It's like, we got one backer. One thing I should note too is we do have, once the campaign launches, we can add new tiers. So,
right.
I'm not saying that this is what we're going to do. This is just popping in my head, but it could be the kind of thing where, let's say we do unlock it on the first day and the Schmodown is going to happen. Maybe there's an opportunity to add a special Schmodown tier once we know it's happening,
right,
that let people get involved in certain capacities. So, the good news is we can do whatever we want.
Right.
If you guys show up and back this, like I said, the sky's the limit.
Agreed. Okay, let's see. Next one is John D. Extracting. Hey guys, hopefully this isn't unfair to ask. Why does Mike Alaska always seem angry on the streams or for many topics? Is that his personality, or is he okay? Not trying to add drama. Sorry. Mike's a very passionate guy. I don't think he's angry all the time. I'd say half and half. I'd say half and half.
Look at these knockers.
So there's a lot going on with Mike, but no, he just has a lot of personality. But I mean, for as long as I've known him, this is how he is.
He should go to Halloween Horror Nights.
He works at Halloween Horror Nights, not Horror Nights. Oh, you think he should go to Halloween Horror Nights? Ryan S. You should have a Doomsday style clock countdown for the trending Kickstarter. Continuous running clock shows up on live shows at the bottom of the screen. I kind of love that.
Good
Luke,
idea.
Luke, can we make that happen? Luke,
Do
that would
it.
probably for the live streams. Would probably be a Luke and PLD. Luke just was shaking his fist at work right now.
No.
Yeah, it's the Doc. It's one of my favorite names. If your show sells and you get famous, would your YouTube end? No chance that my YouTube would end. Hold me to that. Because first of all, that's not the goal. Let's see. Look at that. And then we do. That's perfect. Look at that. Luke just made that perfect.
That's great, but we need the ER at the end of Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, quick start. Poor Luke. Luke's like, he's like, look what I did, guys. That's great, Johnny. Now go back and try it again. Thank you, Luke. Yeah, we just got
No, that's a great.
It's pretty
little,
good. Yeah, and then
that's a good banner.
Yeah, and then we will end the and then we'll do like a clock as well. Craig, how much more time do I have you for? You got time to play, or you got?
I've got time to play.
Okay, good.
I think my next meeting is with you.
Oh, good. Okay, good.
So-
Same. So,
so I got some
perfect.
time.
All right, good. All right. What was that I missed? Okay, no, but as far as it's not the goal, and I talked about this on Craig's on Greg's show. My goal is really, and you don't have to believe it if you don't want to, because my goal for this show is really to tell this story. Like, I just think it's a good story. I think the characters are good. I think that I know how to speak in this character's voice in order to tell this story. I know where the characters go. I know what's going to happen from start to finish, and what's going to, and how to add humor to it and give some people a good kind of laugh along the way, and feel something for these characters. And it's something I want to do. So, but it actually, what I would hope is that it would actually benefit the channel, right? And that the channel would then be able to get more interviews and more conversations and more things of that nature. So there'd be certain things I think it would change. And here's the other thing that I would want to do. I would probably give Sam a bigger role in general. I think that I would want to be able to have Sam take over the reaction side of things, quit her job and be on this, and me do stuff with her, but her also doing things with other people too. I think that the audience, she's earned the audience's trust at this point, but I just can't afford that yet. But that's what that would happen. So no, not at all. John, no hate, Harloff. Love you and your team's work. Everyone brings something different, but Mike just always seems depressed. No, he's not depressed. Sorry for any trouble. That's not, first of all, you're not starting in trouble. You're asking questions. You weren't being a dick about it. You're just asking questions. But no, he's not depressed. This is who he is. It's also one of the reasons he was such a great competitor, by the way. It's the Doc. Mike gets mad whenever Smets is brought up. Well, because he's the only one, and it's not that when Smets in general is brought up. It's when Smets is brought up in context to being the greatest Schmodown in a Geekdom player, because the two of them are arguably, you can choose. It's like LeBron and Jordan when it comes to the IG. It's like who was the best, right? Like everybody has their opinion on it, and
I've got strong opinions.
You've got strong opinions on the LeBron and LeBron and Jordan side of it, but as far as Smetsy and Kalinowski go,
I can't comment on that one.
Right. That's where Mike gets, because Mike's obviously defended himself, and very interesting. Okay. Greenie from Oz. I'm putting my money on the Outlaw to win the tournament.
Wrong.
PLD, you douche. I don't think that's a bad bet. Here's a question for you, PLD. Would people, and I don't know the answer to this, and I certainly wouldn't do it, but if we did a tournament in the way that it works, could Kalshi do something like that? You gotta go. One time I need you on the bubble.
I'll look into it. I don't know.
I don't want you to look into it.
Okay.
I'm just curious. I don't want anything to do with that. I'm just saying I wonder if they could do it, because you can bet on anything on Kalshi. Okay. Starscream 81. Wait, Craig is involved? Sure is. Wow, what a YouTube cinematic universe crossover. Must have missed the news before you guys knew one another. Well, we'd only met each other, what, 4 months ago, Craig?
Yeah, it's been a brief period of time.
Yeah.
What's up, Starscream?
Yeah, so we met each other through our mutual friend Attack Peter, who's in the chat. Yeah. Yoshimitsu, I assume you guys can add information, incentives, and new goals to the Kickstarter page as the campaign goes along. That's absolutely right. Yes. Greenie from Oz. Can we get an Arnie Commando get to the Kickstarter? Come on, here. Here's the deal. You got Craig there, and he's going to be doing the Ghostbusters. He'll be fine. He'll be chasing the ghost. And there's Slimer, and he's ducking and moving away. And Jason Reitman's like, watch something else. Do it. He's like, fine, I will do that. And the next thing, he said, well, where are you doing now? He said, we got to get to 300, hit the 400, get to the Kickstarter, do it. And Harloff's over there going, how many do we need? And he says, 5,000. 5,000 what? Get Whiskey and Lulu. Have them do tricks. Dance around in a circle. Who knows? But we'll get it done.
That's great.
Perfect.
That's pretty great.
Thank you. Greenie from Oz. Random idea. Have a Schnepp lookalike at Stan Lee cameo in background or small role throughout your show. I hear what you're saying. I think I understand what you're saying. I think there would be something interesting to do in homage. So I don't know necessarily about doing a look-alike, but maybe something to have to honor him. I have no problem doing that. I loved him.
I'm sure his estate would sell you an AI avatar of him.
Oh, Stan Lee's. Yeah. Did you ever have a chance to? Did you know who John Schnepp was?
I did. Yeah.
John was a good buddy of mine, and he was I don't know if you ever had the chance to meet him, but he was just such a gentle giant. He was a wonderful, wonderful human being, and I was actually just speaking of Endgame. I got teary eyed watching Endgame because I sat next to him at Infinity War, and he had passed by the time Endgame came out, and I just remember thinking then and thinking again, just his face and what his face would have been like watching that. So
the doc, The Death of Superman Lives, is one of my favorite. I mean, I didn't know him personally, but
you would have loved him.
The best. You
would have loved him. Look, he updated his Kickstarter now.
There it is.
There you go. Don't forget about our comment about custom price.
Yes.
Okay, so that was So do me a favor, dude. Send me another Instagram DM. I'm going to put you in contact with Craig, and then because I love the idea of like 2 maybe special tiers. You know, we can talk about. You guys can talk about that, what that would look like, but maybe custom designed trending shoes. That'd be amazing. It'd be amazing. Tack Peter, vacation together is a stretch. People picturing us together on the beach, not so bad, I guess.
I'd go to a beach with Peter.
That's really
dig in
good.
the sand for alien bones or whatever he does.
Joseph Ashley, does the process of the title image hard to figure out, like fonts, or are you creating one from scratch? We had a lot of different ideas and things that we kind of went back and forth. We had the great Brian Ward, who did Schmodown stuff. He helped us with some stuff, but ultimately we kind of came up with a design that we worked on, and Martini worked on some stuff too, and that was it. We don't even. That's what we're working with for now, for sure. Greenie from Oz, there's an Aussie streaming service called Stan worth writing on the list of potential places to sell your show if the big ones doesn't happen. Yeah, we're going to be looking into everything. Very, very kind of you to bring that up. Greenie from Oz, PLD versus Roca. PLD would be licking
this
his
guy
chops.
Is your champion. This guy.
Licking his chops. He would be doing it. Rocador versus Mr. Cook. They played against each other before. They played against each other. Joshua Gonzalez, question. Do you know how much Kickstarter takes? Yes, about between 5 and 10%. Yeah. Paige, what's up, Paige? I am heartbroken for Tim and Dolly. I will try to find the exact time when our pilot was first used, signed up, ready to go. Yeah, please forgive me. That's actually something great because we have the actual day when someone had first said our show, and if we can find the actual screenshot of that and then get that to you, I'd love to put that on the Kickstarter.
Be great. Yeah.
What tier do I support to get a So Sorry Lex t-shirt? Oh man, those are out of stock. Those are out of stock, but those were great ones. I still have that too. James Wheeler, does everything you get in the Kickstarter have to go into the show, even if you go way over? Well, it depends on the way over, right? It depends on the way over. Like, so let's say way over is 500,000, right? Which is way over 250. That to me says, hey, we couldn't even have thought about making an offer to so-and-so for this role. Now we couldn't even thought about that location or done that or got that piece of music for that. Now we can. So far over on that side of it isn't far over. So majority of the far over in that aspect would still go to the show. Now, if you're talking far over, like breaking Felicia Day's record, far over, if we make 7 million on 250, then it's like, hey, we can make a full season if we want at X amount, and then we could probably do some stuff where we could maybe run a full Schmodown season if we want.
Right.
So there's things that we could do and put it towards it to where you guys will be in the know of everything that is put towards it. You'll know where it's going. But yeah, so that ultimately was how it'll work. The pilot is directed by Ridley Scott. Actually, sorry, the hell, yeah, 100%.
So we were contractually obligated to
Not
for
to
that
say
long
anything.
Ridley Scott conversation earlier.
Yeah, that was that. Barber's Boy, can you please have a Mr. Cook cameo? I got to give Craig some reference on who Mr. Cook is. Hold on a second.
God, I feel like I'm slowing down the show because I don't get all the inside jokes.
No, you'll get it.
I'd rather stick a hot iron in my mouth than welcome that serial murderer into this colony.
Besides, it's been so long since we've been to a party.
I'm not exaggerating.
You have offended me for the very last time, Mr. Cook. I demand satisfaction.
That's Mr. Cook.
That's great.
There you go. You offended me for the very last time, Mr. Cook. Pilot question. Once funded, how many casting spots do you have to fill for the pilot? Says Blaine. Quite a few right now. Well, most of them, to be honest. We have a few people that like I said, that have already have interest and all that type of stuff, but locking them in yet. This is one of those things that once funded, we'll have quite a few, and you'll be able to watch the process as it goes down. Mike Joyce, merch idea: bobbleheads or Funko Pops for characters for the show. I feel like that's just like expensive, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's no problem with that.
I own a toy company. It's more imagine how expensive you think making toys is, and then like times 1,000.
Yeah.
It's so expensive.
Yeah,
But it is a good idea.
It's a great idea. That's just tough to do. Horror King, we did signed posters, signed scripts, associate producers, and executive producers, plus a few smaller merch items for Terrifiers 2, an Indiegogo campaign. That's pretty awesome that you're in here helping us with that advice. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, I think we have ideas of signed posters. Signed scripts is something. I think the only thing with scripts is that, it probably would be I'm just want to make sure that, the script doesn't get out there until we film it.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's like the rewards will be paced. Like if there's something that can't go out until later
after it's done, which I have no problem. I love all of you. Do you want me to screenshot that? Because I think this is pretty. And we think we have all this stuff too, don't we?
Yeah.
For the most part,
I've been taking notes.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
This is great. But thank you, man. That's awesome. Joey, thank you, Joey. Support. Michael D. Look, he's got Mr. Cook as a avatar. It's amazing. R.I.P. to Tim Curry. Best line ever belonged to him with this gem. I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space. So good. Scott Element. As far as the T-shirts, can you not do them via TeePublic? No, because if you do them via TeePublic, they don't, because TeePublic doesn't coordinate through, you got to buy them through the TeePublic site.
Yeah, we've got a guy.
Yeah,
we've got a guy, and it's going to be top notch. So.
Yeah. This is the last one for now. Oh no, it's not true. It's two more. And then if anybody else has any more questions, PLD, is there any more as far as the starred ones? No. Okay. So if anybody has any more questions, throw them in now, because we're after these next two super chats. If there aren't, we're gonna bail out. But you guys have been asking great questions so far. Ryan S. Craig did an amazing job with the Ghostbusters fundraiser for charity in December. Goals were met and exceeded quickly. You're in great hands, Kristian. That's just what I heard, and I'll tell you.
That was fun.
Dude, I'm telling you, like within, I felt like even the director because the director was like, so how do you know this guy? And it's like, well, he comes highly recommended from a guy I trust thoroughly. And then we got on a call. He's like, I love that guy. It's like, yeah, he's great. He's great.
That's nice.
So
I should say we did the Ghostbusters charity streamathon last December. We are bringing it back this year. Last year we raised $38,000 in 6 hours for Starlight Children's Foundation. We had Ernie Hudson on, Ray Parker
great.
Jr. and
That's
all
awesome.
sorts of people. So it was good times.
That's really awesome. Go Pal. Didn't you have a prediction market sponsor where you could make your own book on the Schmodown tournament? Yes, but I don't want to get involved in that when it comes to, because if we're putting together matches and everything too, the last thing I want is people going, oh, he's got interest in doing so and so winning, and it's like, you guys do that on your own.
Insider trading.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Josh Sticks, do we have to wait until after the Kickstarter to know the bigger name actors who are possible to cast? People might want to donate more if they could possibly be in the show. I agree with that. And that is one of the things that we're trying to do, right? Is the idea is, and this is one of the things that I'll bring up in a meeting soon. The idea is to attach the people that we want, to then tell you, hey, so-and-so is attached to this role once we do it.
Right.
But if they don't get attached to it, then you got to go and make the offer after you have the money. Right. But the difference, Josh, is this. This is one of the things, as Craig mentioned earlier, what a lot of Kickstarters have not done in the past that we will. You'll be part of those conversations in the casting. You'll go, oh, we're going out to so-and-so. We're trying, so-and-so is interested. Oh, look at this. We're doing this. This person, this is a very good possibility. So-and-so is going to play so-and-so. That is something that we think is pretty interesting as well, too. And to maybe, offset having the name. Go Pal. Maybe you could put a Schnepp mural in your show. I'd love to. Yeah. Why do I have a feeling Kevin Smith is the director, says Coolman. I'll have to find out soon. Gregory Dop True. Kick. Special sign cast photos, maybe framed sign. I think we're gonna have some more stuff. I mean, look at. I mean, these are just a portion of what Joey did. Joey only sent me a few. Oh, deleted. Luke put in had to put in that picture for the Kickstarter. I think he deleted some of the pictures. But we'll do that one. But he did quite a few pictures, and they're really, really great. They're really great. So we could just find photos for sure. I'd say we got three more. Kristian, was a script written all now to address and feature your new jacked up arms? No. What's funny about it is though we talked about the fact that that the character is going to be at least in shape, right? And so because he's a former, he was drinking, he was doing stupid shit when he was younger, and he was But what happens is when people rely on one thing, and they don't have that thing anymore, they rely on other things, and they become obsessed with that type of thing. And for him, with one of his traits was that he goes to the gym and he does his thing. So that's how we addressed it. Just fashion. Will Wicked Art be involved with the show? I haven't spoken to him about it. We don't know where he's been. He's been off the map. Wicked Art is great, but I don't know. Hey, Kristian, maybe a Kickstarter to update the Schmodown app. Oh, that's a whole other thing. We'd have to. We created a Schmodown app, which was great, but the guy who created it was in London, and he's probably, I don't think he's a Schmodown fan anymore, and I think he just kind of after a while to say, I'm good. And we don't have the behind the scenes.
Access,
can't access it as much anymore. We have to just start it from scrap. Armada AYT Finstock directing an episode. Oh my goodness. How about Schmodown trading cards? We had those for a little bit. Yeah. For clarification, are you playing the main role? I am, Mr. West. Thank you. So if you go, so we'll bring it up one more time here, and we'll bring up the, it's a better way to do it. Two of us are in there now. So I think we have it here where if you look at, I'm playing the character of Danny, which is the washed up podcaster, and then Martini's playing my SNL actor ex-wife, and we were forced to co-host after going viral, and their on-air chemistry recognized both their careers and old wounds. So we'll have more of it in there about who's playing who and all that. I'm going to look at this now and see, because I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to say 205, 211. Look at that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Look at that. Perfect. So I am indeed playing the role, and then and Martini is playing my ex-wife. Okay, Wiley, what up, buddy? A tier should be for you to go into a recording studio and sing Baby Doll from Danny Collins' full song. You remember that more than I do. I remember doing it, but I don't remember. Hey, baby doll, what's going on? I think that's what it was, right, PLD? Is that what you remember it now? Just pop in. So I don't know if you remember that. What was the name of that movie again? It was Danny Collins, right?
It was Danny. Yeah, it was Danny Collins. Pretty sure.
So there's Craig. Do you know this movie? It's like this. He's like playing like a, like an old like Bob Dylan type of guy or whatever too. But he had like a hit song, and his hit song was "Hey baby doll, what's going on?" And I remember I must have sang that 80,000 times in the old Schmoes days. But I guess Wiley remembers it more fondly than I do, I guess.
This is right up my. I love a biopic, but a fake biopic's even.
Oh, you got to check it out. Haskell, what's up, guys? I'm in financial despair for the most part, so I don't know what I can do money wise, but I'll share the F out of it. Post the link on X. That's it. Follow it.
Thank you.
That's it, dude. And like I said, listen, Ed. Right now, what I would tell you in the future is that, hey, just write what you just wrote. I'll highlight it and put that $5 towards the account. If you're going to do that, put that towards the thing. Don't I'll always highlight your shit, because you've been around helping out forever. So if that's what you got, if it's $5, if it's nothing, if it's just helping out, that's it. How much do we have to raise to get the State Department involved so they can get Ron H into the country for the premiere? Maybe he'll find his way, I'm sure. All right, Craig, I think this was pretty successful. I think we did pretty good here.
Awesome.
Already.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, I think, listen, we got Craig here. Make sure you go and follow his YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. Make sure to go check out Attack Peter if you haven't done that already. 214 followers. Love it. Hopefully get some more in the replay here. I'll put it as the pinned comment to make sure that that's something that everybody's checking out. Thank you to Luke. Thank you to PLD and Jonathan, to Sam and MK for doing the time codes. Thank you to everybody involved for what we got going on here. Thanks to Joey for being in the chat room. And let's make this show happen, man. Let's do it every day. I'm going to be here talking to you guys at over 114 super chats. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow with me and Chris Carr. Once again, thanks to Craig for being here. Go and check him out. Craig, thank you, my man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll see you real soon. Thanks, Mike.